like this is like a booster chair,
between
right?
Between
it's
that,
like, you had to put it up, right?
Between that and the booster chair. By the way, he likes it lower. And then me, as we're on YouTube, as we're streaming, I'm way up here, and Jimmy's here. I said, Jimmy, why don't you crank that thing up there? And he goes, no, I like it low. I just like it like right here. It's because they don't have any booster chairs here at Wright Toyota.
No, they don't. You can't even get one in like a child seat when you buy a car.
Got to go to IHOP or Denny's or something like that to get a
But
booster
I'll
chair.
tell you that last week I was in Ohio, and I popped in on my phone to see, all right, let's see how Jimmy – and I noticed the whole time you were just looking at the camera.
No, I don't hardly ever look.
No,
I acknowledge
you were
it.
totally looking at the camera the whole time.
The only time I look is at the beginning, at the end when I salute everybody. But I'm so busy focused here and dial in with stats and teams and football. But I will acknowledge the folks out there.
There you go. And then I want to mention high school football playoffs begin tonight. I know we got a big one right up the street next to Orangedale, and Maricopa is in town to take on Notre Dame and the Saints. So that's the first round of that one. But you got games throughout the valley, right? Wait, you doing a game tonight?
Yeah, we got a rival where we got Sandra Day O'Connor and Mountain Ridge. So from here, I just set up the I-17 over to Happy Valley.
Just tell me about the game.
Yeah,
who cares about how
it'll
you get
be a good game. It's a down year for Mountain Ridge. Sandra Day O'Connor's also struggling, but it's a rivalry, and Roc, in these rivalries, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's true.
You got a lot of things going on. You got some outstanding coaches on both sides. Matter of fact, the head coach Andrew Johnson for Mountain Ridge, he was at Saguaro High School for almost 15 years. So he was the offensive coordinator, coaching all those championship teams for many, many years. Second year at Mountain Ridge, kind of getting that program turned around. So it'll be a good game, good rivalry. And then then tomorrow morning we'll announce the girls 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A brackets, and then we'll have the 6A and open brackets tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock on AZTV Channel 3 if you're up at 10.
So what is that you did? I know you went in there, you taped it with the folks over there at Arizona Family.
We haven't taped it. We were in there just kind of getting the lay of the land. We were going over the schedule.
Oh, okay. So it's not taped. So you guys will be live tomorrow?
You'll be live tomorrow.
How are you going to be able to get up? It's 10 o'clock.
Are you kidding me? I'm up. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm up early. Out the door early. Get the coffee. Get the makeup on. I'll be good to go into the bright lights of AZTV.
Speaking of the bright lights, last night the Suns rolled past the Los Angeles Clippers at home. They improved their record at home at 4-1. But the big headline is Jalen Green made his Suns debut, 29 points, including 6 3-pointers, which was a franchise record for a debut in just 23 minutes. And hey, how's Devin Booker going to do playing with Jalen Green? Well, fine. He added 24 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. The Suns made 19 of 49 from the three-point land. That's 38.8%. They exploded for a 40-23 third-quarter run. That broke the game open. Now, all right, Clippers were shorthanded with 2 of their studs. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden were out, and they've lost 3 straight. And now the Suns and Clippers will go at it again tomorrow in Los Angeles. But hey, the key here, the big headline is Jalen Green immediately coming in. I think some of us felt, all right, he's going to come in. It's going to be a slow process, but you couldn't ask for a better a debut in a Suns uniform.
Well, I think the second shot of the game, the first one, he was a pass to Williams for a dunk. He comes out, and to your point, 29 points in 23 minutes. I mean, he was lighting it up. I'm like, wow. And
he missed it? You think he missed it?
Oh, he was jacked up. I didn't realize his arch was so high.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got
I never really watched him much in Houston at all. I don't think you did either.
I didn't either.
I mean,
you watch him in the playoffs.
Sure.
Yeah, it was
regular season, you're not watching him.
I mean, the one game he had like 38 points in last year's playoff game. I forget which one it was. I went, wow, this kid's really good. So that sticks out in my craw more than anything, what he did in the playoffs last year. But, yeah, I didn't pay attention to Houston watching him. I just knew he was an outstanding player, high draft pick, good athlete. But he got up and down the court. And the one thing that I think that Coach Ott was looking at, Jordan Ott, is they had balance. They had 6 guys in double figures. Every one of the starting 5 was in double figures. And, you talk about Devin Booker. Booker's like, what an added relief. Take some of that pressure off of him. Then he's got another guy that can score 25 to 28 per game. He can get his 25 to 28 per game. And then Royce O'Neal, I mean, he was, 50% from three-point land. I mean, look at that. That was balanced. So hopefully when you get your other guys back, you get Dylan Brooks back, you get some of the other guys back, then I think you have your complete arsenal. But I got to imagine Jordan Ott was really happy how they moved the ball, how guys were aggressive shooting the ball, and to your point, coming out in that third quarter and establishing themselves those 40 points to somewhat start pulling away in that game.
All right, another storyline today is the game on Sunday with Seattle and Arizona, two NFC West rivals. They're trending in opposite directions as Seattle's won 4 of its last 5. They're on top of the division because of Sam Darnold. He's been very efficient. He's and then they also have one of the league's best defensive fronts. Of course, Arizona snapping that 5-game skid on Monday. They got a big test again with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. As we all know, Kyler Murray is on the IR. So I think we got to watch for this. They call it the dark side defense with DeMarcus Lawrence and Seattle's front, which is ranked, I think, number 2 against the run, number 2 in pressure rate. They win with just 4 rushers, too, Manuch.
Yeah, they're stuff. But just came out this afternoon, Mack Wilson Sr., Will Johnson, and Maxwell out for this game. 3 starters on that defense.
It's going to be good.
Oh, my goodness. Talk about Seattle having their way. But just when you saw this team progress on defense against the Dallas Cowboys, all 3 of those individuals be out. And then also questionable will be Budda Baker. I'm sure he'll go, but Budda is questionable. But a very, very banged-up defense with 3 starters out for this Arizona Cardinals defense. So not a good sign when you're going to go into Seattle and take on, to your point, a very hot Sam Darnold offense and a very stout defense in Seattle.
Yeah, this defense, I mean, they've been holding opponents to about 3.5 yards per carry, and we all know that's not the strength of the Cardinals right now is the run.
There is no run game for the Cardinals.
So, I mean, what do? You just, you're going to come out firing, knowing that they can stop whatever you have. You don't have a James Conner.
Well,
what are you going to do?
The biggest thing that they did a lot of play action last week, which they had success. When you can't run and have success in play action, I don't know how that works because you got to be able to run a little bit to have play action. But they did a lot of play action. They held the linebackers a little bit, and they got the ball down the field. I really believe more of a quicker passing game, more max protect. And for Jacoby Brissett, he understands where his hot routes are. So if they bring the blitz packages, hey, receivers, heads up. So if you got to run a side adjust or a hot route or an arrow route, because he's going to have to get the ball out quicker. And on that play action, you better have everybody picked up because we saw a couple times in that game last week, we turned around, there were guys right there. So there were some breakdowns, obviously, with Beachum, with Jonah Williams. They got to really improve that because your point, if they can rush 4 and put pressure on you or sack you or harass you and you're dropping 7, very difficult to pass into that 7, let alone 8 in that secondary.
Yeah, and which Darnell, which
were you going to say Darnell Dockett?
No, which Sam Darnold are we going to get? And, is Sam Darnold's redemption run, is it for real? Is this for real, what we're seeing?
I thought the Sam Darnold redemption tour was all that last year in Minnesota.
Okay, so it's still going on?
Absolutely. And now he struggled the last 2 games for whatever reason. I don't know. I watched that playoff game, and it seemed like, I don't know, he was anxious or got harassed, but it seems as though this offense fits him. Mike O'Donnell's offense did last year in Minnesota. Mike McDaniel's offense fits him, and fits him very well to what they're doing, and he's feeling it. He understands it. And you think about the stops he's had. Jets, Carolina, San Francisco. He said he learned a ton.
Forgot about that.
A ton from Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan about quarterbacking. So he gets to Minnesota, and he goes off. I don't know why they traded him. They wish they probably had him back right now. I know you got J.J. McCarthy.
By the way, real quick, I saw multiple reports that one of the teams that Kyler Murray could end up in is Minnesota.
Could, sure. I would.
You've heard the Raiders, you've heard Tennessee, you've even heard some of the New York teams, but Minnesota.
And here's why it makes financial sense, because the rookie quarterbacks are into their 5-year situation. So they can bring him in. He can compete. If he comes in as a backup and JJ falters or gets injured, which it seems like he does get banged up, then you've got a Kyler Murray in a backup role that at any time he could be the starter.
All right, coming up, our replay rewind. Pretty bad football game last night with the Broncos and the Raiders. Just an awful game, but we'll have some sound there. Then we'll turn to the Suns as Green and Booker are showing some real chemistry. How about Beal getting booed? You got to like that. We'll dive into all that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Phoenix 620.
Craving sushi with a twist? Welcome to Rock Lobster, Chandler's vibrant and trendy sushi destination, where energy meets elegance. From bold wok-fire dishes to creative handcrafted rolls and cocktails, every bite brings the flavor. Every visit brings the vibe. Join us for lunch, dinner, or happy hour Monday through Friday, or even a date night. Find us at Price and Queen Creek in Ocotillo. That's Rock Lobster, where sushi gets social.
At Stretch Lab, it's not just athletes getting better. It's everyday people moving and feeling their best. Each one-on-one session is customized to you, guided by certified flexologists who help improve mobility, flexibility, and recovery. Whether you're chasing touchdowns or chasing the kids, Stretch Lab keeps you loose, strong, and ready for anything. Stretch your potential today. Find your nearest location at stretchlab.com.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue and Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. OD's, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at OrangedaleLounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming, Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in replay rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
Blocked. Kick is blocked. And Denver's going to get the ball. Slips to the outside. Nix looks that way. Then over the middle. Then to the right. Throws. Caught. Into the end zone for the touchdown. Troy Franklin.
What a game last night. Final score, Denver 10, Las Vegas 7, as the Broncos extended their winning streak to 7 games, and they became the first team in the league to reach 8 wins on the season. The Raiders, they struck first with a touchdown in the first quarter. Broncos then answered in the second quarter. They tied it at 7-7, and then it was late in that third quarter with the Broncos. You heard the special teams difference with the blocked punt, and that set up a 32-yard field goal, and that's it. I mean, it was awful.
It really was.
Awful.
You know, it reminded me of like a typical – remember when they started Thursday night football games?
I know where you're going. Absolutely.
It's just bad football, mistakes, penalties.
But that hasn't been the case.
It hasn't.
That Seattle-Arizona game was great. I mean, there's been some really good Thursday night games.
Well, I think a couple things here. Number one, Denver's defense is damn good. I mean, they are really good. The Raiders, they're a mess, okay? They just can't get anything done. They can move the ball, but they can't score. You get a punt blocked. And then, Bo Nix he's been struggling a little bit this year. I'm not going to call it a sophomore jinx. Some of the throws that he made last night, I'm going, what are you doing? Where are you throwing that ball? Sidearm, diving. And the other thing, too, you couldn't really notice. The wind was blowing about 30, 35 miles an hour. There were times where the gusts were really difficult to kick in and to punt. Excuse me, because that one field goal you saw got pushed left by Denver. But there, the elements, it was a nice night, but the wind was really blowing pretty hard. But it was just a really sluggish, sloppy game on both sides of the field. And, Denver, I never felt they were out of control because the Raiders couldn't move the ball. They couldn't move the ball. And then they missed a field goal. They could have tied this thing up. And Pete Carroll's over the sideline going, how does that happen? It's a chip shot. Well, it got blown left. That's one of the things. And when you train, Vegas has got a lot of wind. So they're not as if they don't train or handle wind. But that was one where they should have tied it up. And could you imagine a game like that going into overtime? As ugly as that is, to see that game and going to overtime. But Denver, that's one of those games where their defense pretty much carried them. But this offense of Denver and Bo Nix is got some issues they got to straighten out.
All right, from Mile High to the Valley of the Sun, let's hit some Suns post-game last night. We'll start with the coach, Coach Ott, and talking about Jalen Green. Gave us everything we expected and more.
Probably everything we expected and more. And then to be that in rhythm, that's unique. So, everything that we expected and definitely more.
There you go. He said it twice.
He was impressed, I think, Rock.
We all were.
Yeah.
And then, of course, chemistry, between Green and Booker was something that we talked about going into the game. A lot of people have, us and everyone in the market, talking about, okay, how's this going to look? Now, granted, it's just one game, but, man, what a great first game.
Damn good what it looked like.
Here's Ott.
Yeah, and again, I think it's so hard because of the lack of playing time they've had together. But that just shows how high level each of them are. Skilled, talented, really, really good basketball players. Really good basketball players figure it out. And they're doing it on the fly in an NBA game, not easy. So, anytime we can crack the paint, put them in the paint, and, get the ball in the paint, put anyone in a closeout, especially when you're an elite offensive threat, I think that's advantageous for us.
I felt, and also getting the ball down low to Mark Williams. I mean, I think the tone was set. They kicked it out to Jalen Green. Green gave it right down to Williams. He goes right down the lane and bang. And I think that the way they moved the ball and went Booker to Green to Williams, and then you score. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that chemistry as far as moving the basketball.
Let's hear from Devin Booker on having another scorer out there.
I mean, it's night and day. It's a game changer for sure. And also, the minutes I'm off the court, he's out there holding it down, being super aggressive too. So, his dynamic helps our team in many ways.
He's very relieved hearing his voice, even when he's off the court. Jalen Green's, I got it, Book. It's that kind of thing where they're both playing together. If you got to take a blow, okay, I got it. If you got to take a blow, I got to take a blow, you got it, and vice versa. And I think that's the one thing when you watch this team. Hopefully, you don't see that big lull when one of the two stars is off the court.
And then here's Green and what he had to say with playing with Book.
It was good. We got a little vibe in training camp before the injury. Off the court, it's a great vibe. On the court, it's even better. It's a lot of space out there. We're able to build off each other, talking the whole game. He's a veteran guard. He's been there before, done it before. So, I'm learning everything I can from him while out there trying to help him win. So, it's been good.
The other thing, too, is 10 assists between both of them. And you look at the total assists, 27 assists. And 10 between those two, and then Grayson Allen also a big part of that. So I think that it's almost like they can kind of fill it out. And I think when you have a veteran player like Devin Booker with a young guy like Jalen Green, that kind of allows him to do his thing. I call it unselfishness, which we saw with the Golden State Warriors when they were winning those championships, is how much they moved the ball. They had outstanding shooters. And Jordan Ott, in reference to this game, is like, if you got it, take it. And you could see that with close to 40% from three-point shooting, especially Royce O'Neal, who continues to stay hot with his points, 17 points, 5 for 10 from three-point land. But that's the thing. They move the ball, they get those open shots, and that's been a key to convert those three-pointers.
All right, last one as we finish our replay rewind with the Suns post-game. Here's former Sun in Bradley Beal on being booed.
I mean, you got fans that didn't like me here. You got fans that liked I was here. I mean, you can't please everybody. I find that at a very young age, you drive yourself crazy trying to make everybody happy. So I've enjoyed my time here. I've enjoyed playing for this organization. They made a decision. We move on. It's what it is. I don't have any hard feelings. People are going to boo. It's part of the game. It's part of being a fan. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see you Saturday.
You look at it, he just is underwhelming now to watch him play. 2 for 14.
He never was much. Come on.
Well, when he got here, there would be spurts. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
There'd be spurts
when he could play.
When he could play, and you'd see Bradley Beal have the kind of years he'd have when he was with the Wizards. But his plus minus last night, I mean, you look at all of them, plus minus was minus 23. And you go, wow. I mean, they were all over him every time he touched the ball with those boos going. But I mean, he just looks like a shell of what it looked like, I'll just say 5 years ago. Even when he got here, it was 3 years ago, he was a guy that just does not have that juice or that energy. And to watch CP3 play, he still gets that little elbow jumper up. To see him out there running around at close to 40 years old, he's still pretty steady, still pretty consistent with the ball. So when you watch Chris Paul, what he got his 2 points off that one little elbow shot, nice to see him out there going, wow, guy's still playing at your late 30s, early 40s.
So that is our wrap, our replay rewind from the Broncos grinding out an ugly win to the Suns' new look trio, which is starting to find its rhythm. And I think we are very fortunate. I think a lot of us would have said, maybe 2-3 wins at this point. Right. And here they are. You think about, they opened up, they got blown out the first few games. One game they were getting blown out. I think it was Sacramento, and they came back. But here they are playing some pretty good basketball, and I think that's what the city needs. A reason to turn on Arizona Family and listen to 98.7
sure.
and get it going again. I mean, I'm not saying, okay, after last night, Jalen Green's the answer. But, hey, you said, I think preseason we were talking about it, that, hey, just get into that play-in.
Sure.
And then there's a chance.
And the other thing, too, is fun to watch. As I mentioned, the balance and scoring, moving the ball. They got to do a little better on their defense, so they got to get back. Mm-hmm. But there was a big third quarter. Gave them the lead. They held on to the lead. They closed the game out, and they were down only 15 turnovers per their average of 17. They still got to take care of the ball. Too many bad passes. Guys getting the ball stolen on the dribble. But yeah, it was a more balanced game. You just hope to see it on Saturday night or tomorrow night versus the Clippers over in LA.
Some national story that just it's been hit earlier today, but President Donald Trump has pardoned Darryl Strawberry of tax evasion and drug charges. And the reason why I bring that up, I was fortunate to actually spend some time with Darryl Strawberry when he was with the San Francisco Giants. He did a rehab, not the drug rehab. He did a rehab for the Phoenix Firebirds. They were AAA for the Giants before the Diamondbacks moved here. And he was by far the most gracious athlete that I had ever been around, to the point where we had played a July 4th game fireworks show in Peoria because Scottsdale Stadium we weren't permitted because of the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And we did an autograph session. He was nice enough because these guys used to come down on rehabs, mm-hmm. and they don't want to do anything. They're pissed that they got to be in AAA. They're not used to. They don't have the luxuries of having the big leagues. Yeah. But he signed autographs for every single person. If I'm not even exaggerating, it had to be a couple hours. He didn't stop, and he was very nice to me. I was the PR guy, and I just it's interesting because there's not a lot of guys like that. I know he's had his problems. He's been sober for many years, and Christian faith and all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad he was able to turn his life around.
Yeah, and then what happened? He pretty much pardoned that sentence. He's not in jail, folks. He's been out there. He's been out for many years.
Yeah, like 2003 or something.
Yeah, so he's just pardoning that. He's just commuting that sentence is what he's doing.
Sure, but anyway, don't sleep on Seattle. They are quietly one of the hottest teams in football. They're sitting high at 6-2. The defense is amazing. We're going to catch up with former Sun Devil and Seahawk radio analyst Paul Moyer will join us. And as they made some changes and made some additions, I should say, at the trade deadline, which I think is going to make them even better with Rashid Shaheed, who is just a speedster. So we're going to talk to him about that as well as some other things with the Seahawks. But coming up, here is a ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Phoenix Suns stunned the LA Clippers with a 115-102 win last night as Jalen Green exploded for 29 points in his season debut, lifting Phoenix past a short-handed LA squad. However, the Suns will be gearing up for a rematch Saturday night in LA. Tip-off at 8:30 p.m. with pregame coverage starting at 8 p.m. on 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals prepared for a Sunday matchup against the Seahawks without several key players. Cornerbacks Will Johnson and Max Melton both been ruled out, along with linebacker Mac Wilson and, of course, quarterback Kyler Murray, who was placed on injured reserve earlier this week. Coverage of that game begins at 2:05 p.m. on 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports. We're back this Monday for the Eagles-Packers watch party at our home for Monday Night Football. Big's American Bar and Grill, right in the P83 district at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Join us for 1 to 4 for great food, cold drinks, and your shot at $10,000 with the Jumbo Dice.
Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net, personal, reliable, and supportive. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. With Crest, you're not only protecting what matters most, but also helping to build stronger, more resilient communities. Crest Insurance, service you can count on.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Pima JTED doesn't just work for students, it works for all of Arizona. Hands-on training, real-world skills, high school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
What kind of player are the Seahawks getting? A guy with a lot of energy, a guy who loves to win, a guy who loves to compete. I can make plays on any level, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win.
A huge pickup by the Seattle Seahawks to get Rashid Shaheed, who was an undrafted guy who is so fast. And they already have a really good wide receiving core.
But now they have a home run hitter.
Oh, my gosh. Paul Moyer joins us now. Of course, the host of the Seahawks Game Day radio show, pre, half, post, does it all. Has his own weekly show on ESPN, Seattle 710, and a friend of the program and played at Arizona State. How we doing, Paul? What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm great. I appreciate you guys having me on as always. I'm catching my breath. I'm actually in Hawaii right now. My wife made me take a tennis lesson with her, so my heart rate got to 167. I think it's down to about 118 now, so I'm almost got my breath back. But
That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah. Tennis lesson. Good. For somebody that grew up playing tennis, I appreciate that. But I haven't been asked to go to Hawaii to play.
Paul, that's love, man.
Yeah,
that
totally.
Is love. All right, there, buddy.
Hey, man, I could be on the golf course, but no, I took a tennis lesson at 80 degrees on a hard clay court, but no, it's good. My wife's a good tennis player. I'm just trying to keep up with her.
That's awesome. Paul, Seahawks been busy. Trade deadline, and you just heard Shaheed. What's your thoughts initially when you heard they made the deal for him?
At first I was like, okay, not the biggest need. And honestly, I don't, it's the first time I can remember. I don't know if we have a need. We have things that are stronger than others. But I think across the board, we've got talent and, defensive line, linebackers, certainly with Ernest Jones being nicked up. That could be a challenge for us, but I think we're deep in the secondary. We got some injuries there too, but we'll get them back. Offensive line's much improved, depth at running back. But when you get a home run threat, not that, he's not going to be the number one. He'll battle for the number two spot, because the one thing the Seahawks do is these guys run routes. The timing with Sam Darnold, who I've told everybody after 8 games, he's the most talented quarterback in Seahawks history. I can't believe how good he is. Wow. I didn't know it coming in. Wow. I didn't know it. But it's 2 years in a row, and it's a pretty good sample size. He can make every throw. He's mobile inside the pocket. He's not going to hurt you running, but he can if need be. But what he does with his progressions and throwing in tight windows, I'll give you a stat. He's +8 right now in expected completion percentage. His expected completion percentage is supposed to be around 61 or 2. He's now at 70. I don't think there's anybody close to him. There might be one, but I don't remember the person at the time. He leads in yards per attempt. He leads in yards in the air. So he's not dinking and dunking like a lot of these other teams, running bubble screens. He's throwing the ball downfield, and he's hitting everything. So now you've got a deep threat. It's the time when we picked him up, I thought, do we need another wide receiver? Well, we've got 3 guys who are banged up, and we'll see how healthy they are when they come back. So it makes him dangerous. He's got to fit in, that's for sure.
Paul, Dave Craig listens to the show every day. I don't think he appreciates what you just said. I think Dave Craig was there, 20 years? He was in Seattle for a long time.
And Jim Zorn's a fan, too, big fella.
Look, Russell Wilson, we had Matt Hasselbeck. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in Seahawks history. I'm saying he's the most talented quarterback in Seahawks history.
I see.
He's 28 years old. He's 28 years old. let this thing play out. The Seahawks go to the Super Bowl, or in next year, hopefully at some point. That his number moves up. But, Russell Wilson winning the Super Bowl, his numbers are good. Matt Hasselbeck, we went to the Super Bowl. You mentioned Dave Craig. I played with Dave for 7 years. So he's a gamer of all gamers, gets more out of his talent than anybody. But a guy he can make every throw. And I mean, I use the analogy of, a baseball pitcher who can, throws at 96, 97, but when he wants to, he can throw at 101. And he's got a nasty changeup that he's got touch over the middle. So, yeah, I'm really pleased. I hope it continues. And from what I've seen the last 2 years, there's no reason to think it won't.
Visiting with Paul Moyer here, talking Seattle Seahawks football here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. All right, the defense. We talked about the offense. This defense, the front, this defensive front is flat out elite. I know a little banged up, but what are you expecting when it comes to the health of these guys on Sunday?
I think our defensive line, we're in pretty good shape. Leonard Williams, I'm going to throw another big statement. I think this has a chance to be, if not the most talented, one of the most talented defensive lines in Seahawk history, too. And we've had some good ones over the years. But what they're able to do, rushing 3-4 guys, has been pretty remarkable. I think we're second in the league in blitzing. I think we're 16, 15%. It's not very much. And we're either number one or number two in pressure rate. So you're getting pressure with 3-4 guys, and that's pretty impressive. Leonard Williams he's just phenomenal. I mean, when you watch him on tape, he's double teamed almost every play, and it doesn't matter. I mean, he's just so strong, and he's got a couple of legit pass rush moves and run defense moves. Brian Murphy's is made that leap in the second year. Jaron Reed, we don't even really talk about that much anymore, and he's talented. But we've got 4 edge rushers that play the run really well, and they collapse the pocket. They're really strong. So I'm again not trying to blow too much smoke for the Seahawks, but right now they're playing that well. And I don't want to say they should be 8-0. They definitely could be 8-0. I mean, we're on the 6-yard line against 49ers and get a weird fumble, with second down at the time, with about 50 seconds left. And in Tampa Bay, we're up 7 and they score on their final drive. It's tied and we fumble, or maybe we threw an interception. They kick a field goal to win it. We could be 8-0. So, you know how this league is. You get beat by anybody, injuries, make everybody come back to earth real quick. But this is a very talented team.
Paul, you played defense for many years. You've watched Seattle. When Michael McDonald came in as a head coach, it seemed like the strategy was to get what you just said, that front 3 or 4, put pressure with 3 or 4, drop 7 or drop 8. It's extremely difficult as a quarterback. I can tell you right now, when they drop 8, to try to find holes in that zone. When you drop 8 defenders, it's like somebody came out of the stands and they're over there and you don't see them. So it's very difficult. But the one guy that it just impresses me year in year out, DeMarcus Lawrence. Maybe he's one of your unsung heroes of that will side backer. The way he comes, he seems like he comes more often than he gets in coverage.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he's good at both. And that is the run. He sets the edge. He's man strong, Superman strong. Him and Leonard Williams, when you look at pound for pound, those are as strong as they get. But the way he collapses the pocket too, we don't necessarily what I call speed rush and try to work on the around the quarterback. We get into the tackles and everything is you get gut pressure, Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy. So when the quarterback has to step up, there's nowhere really for him to step up. He's got to work to try to work outside. Well, the Seahawks really don't allow it. I mean, they really bull rush those tackles and that pocket gets tight. And then if they do get outside, our guys can run. Nwosu, you mentioned Lawrence, who's just, I didn't know he was that good or still. And again, he's been a great signing for us. And then you throw in Boye Mafe, Derek Hall. I mean, it's just deep. And they're all super strong guys. So, and then throw in Witherspoon and now Nick Emenwari. Now you've got 2 guys who can sit outside the box who are, they play with their hair on fire. I mean, they play every snap like it's the last play of their life. And so, yeah, they've built a really nice team. A little bit of surprise coming in this year. I thought we'd be good. I didn't know we'd be quite as good as we are.
So, Paul's the next safety. Here comes Jacoby Brissett. pocket guy, play action guy, big, strong guy. He gets it done. They're running the Cardinals, running an offense like a pro offense versus Kyler Murray. Kind of have a pretty good book on him. You haven't seen Jacoby Brissett in the NFC West, but just this year, how do you prepare a guy that is having the success he's having from the pocket and doesn't have to run around like his hair on fire to have success?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different challenge. I mean, we play, obviously, Kyler so much. You know, they all know each other. I think, you know, this game's going to be different in that, you know, I think Arizona's going to try to limit the possessions. They're going to try and run just a little bit, stay in third down, manageable situations, you know, let Brissett, you know, just kind of work it and get some first downs. Get the lead early, put pressure on the Seahawks, and it can happen. I mean, there's no question about it. And the one thing we know about the Cardinals is, you know, you got the best tight end. I think one of the best, if not the best tight end in the league in McBride. You're starting to see, you know, Marvin Harrison Jr. finally starting to get his legs under him. He's a tough matchup. He hurt us last time we played him. He got 2 touchdowns, I believe. So, look, they played great defense last week. They do that again. They're capable. So, but I think it's going to be a challenge for Brissett. And the reason, or say his name right, the reason why is we're going to be on coverage. There's not going to be a lot of wide open, you know, space there for him to throw it. He's going to have to throw on time. The pocket's going to collapse. So they're going to have to play this really smart. But anytime you play a veteran quarterback who knows how to play, it's a challenge, man. It's the NFL. The talent's not that different from team to team.
So, Paul, I just want to help you out here. Bagel is winning a set 6-0. Breadstick is winning a set 6-1. Deuce is a tie score 40-40. So just some things that you need to know there. Alette, you know, gives you another shot there if you get in the service box. So just to help you out there. And foot fault. Watch out for the foot faults. Yeah. All right.
Let her win. Let her win.
Yeah, she always has to win.
I'm a 4-0 with a kick serve, so, you know, bring it on.
4-0? Okay. You know, you're getting lessons? Come on. Oh, jeez. Paul,
I told you, I got to keep up with my young wife.
Oh, I love it. And the fact you're in Hawaii and you're joining us, man, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure, man. Go Sun Devils, and good luck to you guys this weekend.
That's Paul Moyer. Joining us, the former Sun Devil. You can follow him on Twitter, X at Paul Moyer21. Of course, spent all that time there in Seattle for the Seahawks, and he has a radio show on ESPN Seattle, Sports 710, and he does game day, you know, pregame, half.
Does it all.
That stuff. So he's brought to you today by All City Towing. Join All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company. They're hiring drivers, dispatchers, customer service pros with great benefits, a monthly fuel allowance. You can apply today at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. All right. We're going to challenge our QB, Dan Manucci. Laz and Connor have come up with this little game that we want you to play along. And we're going to see, we're calling it, I think, under center. We're calling it that. Is that what you guys want to do? What is it?
Yeah, I think we're going to go with who's under center.
Who's under center?
Who's under center.
So something new. We're going to put Manuch on the spot. He doesn't even know we're doing this.
No.
But he's so cocky when it comes to stats. When you look at his laptop right now, either he's looking at himself on YouTube or he's got ESPN up for box
sharing us on YouTube.
So we're going to get into that next. We got Football 50 as well. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Wright Toyota.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Alien Air Conditioning. Hello, this is Chris with Alien Air Conditioning. Right now, we're offering a free air conditioning and heating checkup, plus a home energy audit. Yep, that's right, free. We'll help cut your utility bills by up to 30% and make sure your system is running out of this world. Just mention this radio ad to get your free AC checkup. Call Alien Air Conditioning.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks.
And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner and Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner and Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner and Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
Chronic pain doesn't have to control your life. Whether it's back pain, arthritis, or an old injury, you don't have to live in discomfort. Physical therapy can help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence without relying on painkillers or invasive procedures. Through personalized treatments, a physical therapist can target the root causes of pain, improving posture, flexibility, and muscle function. It's time to take control of your health with physical therapy. Visit aptaaz.org and find a physical therapist near you.
When I grow up, I want to be a ballerina.
Because dancing makes me happy. I get to entertain people, and nothing makes me feel more like me.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Olivia a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a great team to put on a show. It also takes a great team of caring people to keep a dream alive. And now my dreams are coming true.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
All right, we're going to see how smart Manuch is.
Give it a try.
Get smart underneath you there.
I love it.
Yeah, we're going to keep that.
Great show. Where's my
shoe
shoe phone? Where's it at?
There you have it. All right, so the guys, we're always looking for new ideas, and this is the debut. There's no real production to it yet, but it was spur of the moment. I said, guys, let's do it. I said, I'll give you guys 145. Here we are.
Give them free rein, Rock.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but you're so cocky when it comes to stats, and me and Jimmy B and Connor and as we always argue, it's not about the stats. It's usually about winning.
Sure, yeah.
But,
goes along good. It's good fodder.
So, Laz, kind of, explain what we're doing here.
So I was sitting, just scrolling through Twitter earlier this week. It was Monday during the show, and I saw a couple of stats between two different quarterbacks. And I said, you know what? That's not only an interesting fact, it would be fun to test Manuch and the guys to see if they could come up with who these quarterbacks are, because I was so blown away with the stats. And I'm not going to give away too much, actually.
Okay.
So
all right.
That's the base of it. But I added a couple, so we'll do 3 rounds of this. I'll give you 2 quarterbacks, quarterback 1, quarterback 2.
Is
I'll
this
give you
all NFL or college?
All NFL.
Okay.
All NFL. I'll give you their pass yards, their passing touchdowns, interceptions, and then how many yards they throw for on average per game. And we'll do that 3 rounds. Quarterback 1, quarterback 2, and then
all right,
so on and so forth. So let's get started here. This is the one I really wanted to get into the most. Quarterback 1 has 1,919 pass yards.
Okay.
With 13 passing touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Quarterback 2 has 3 less pass yards, so 1,916 pass yards, 12 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions. They both average 240 pass yards a game.
They both do.
They both average 240. Quarterback 2 has 2 more interceptions. Quarterback 1 has 1 more touchdown.
Wow.
Pretty similar in pass yards.
Very close.
Wow.
So he has to guess. You're not getting him.
Let's get a guess at who you think. Either you could say both.
1
of them.
or 2.
Yeah. Or you could get both.
I would say I'm going to go with either Sam Darnold or Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
No.
Both are wrong?
Both are wrong.
Wow.
All right. So, this is tough.
If you want a hint, I can give you a hint now.
Give a AFC or NFC.
Let's go to the next hint. They're both in the NFC. Yeah, let's do that one.
NFC.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That helps.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got both of them.
Then I have one more hint if you need it.
Go ahead.
Oh, you already won another
One
hit?
team is 6-2, the other is 5-3. So they're both winning.
Man.
No way. I can't believe who it is. Think about it. Think about his team.
Oh, I was just going to say Caleb Williams. Was he one of those? Yeah.
Maybe.
See, I mean, that gave it away right there. When I hear 5-3, I'm like, that's Bears. And he's a Bears fan. All right, but the other one.
Oh, man.
6 wins.
The other one will surprise you.
I have a guess, but this is your game.
Is it Baker Mayfield?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Baker Mayfield.
Which I thought that was so interesting on Twitter because Baker Mayfield gets talked about so highly,
Sure.
especially this year as an MVP candidate, and look what he's doing. Whereas I feel like, unbiased here, I feel like Caleb takes a lot of hate from the
Sure.
media.
Yeah.
And look at the stats.
He's quietly having a good year.
Yeah, Ben Johnson effect is in full go.
They're winning.
All right, let's go on to the second round here.
Okay.
Both quarterbacks have exactly 2,400 pass yards, rounding up slightly.
Okay.
Quarterback 1 has 17 pass touchdowns. Quarterback 2 has 14. Both have 6 interceptions. Both average 260 pass yards a game.
So I might go back to my first two. Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold. Anyone got one of those? Man.
0 for 2.
What league? AFC, NFC?
AFC for 1. Quarterback 2 is in the AFC. Quarterback 1 is in the NFC.
AFC. Having a hell of a year. Oh, man. Laying it out there like that.
We need to play sound. And beep.
I'm
I know
gonna
Connor
play-
didn't like that idea, but man, this is tough. You can beep out
Yeah.
the receiver. You can beep out the.
We'll do that going forward.
No, we don't have to. I was just
No,
like,
that'd be fun.
And the AFC one, I'm almost tempted to say Josh Allen.
ooh,
Josh Allen. No?
no,
No,
all right.
you guys want the answer? I could give you one
Give
more
us
hint.
more
Give
hints.
us a hint. Give us a
The
hint.
Colts. Oh,
Oh.
I gave you that one. There's your quarterback.
Danny
two.
Dimes.
Danny Dimes. All right,
Indiana Jones.
that's your AFC.
I was going to go with the record first. I said the Colts record.
All
is,
right.
So there's your
All right.
quarterback 2. Quarterback 1. Let's get a guess.
That's NFC.
NFC.
Clue. It's a clue.
They
Where-
are
Where in the NFC?
NFC. That'll give it away.
No,
Let's
don't tell
go.
me. Give me a couple of more.
One more hint.
One
Yeah,
more
give it a division.
They're not having a great year.
Oh, man.
That should help. In the NFC, they're not having a great year.
There's a lot of teams that aren't having a good year.
But he has a lot of passing yards.
Detroit, Goff?
They're
Goff's
having a
not
good
up
year.
there. He's having a good base.
All right, you want the answer for
Yeah.
quarterback 1?
Yeah.
Dak. Dak
Oh,
Prescott.
wow. I knew Connor
So
figured a
they're-
way to get a Cowboy in there.
They're
Yeah,
both top 3
shoot.
in the league in pass yards.
All right.
And then let's go to the last one here. 2 underwhelming quarterbacks.
Underwhelming quarterback. Good hit.
I guess you could say so. Quarterback 1 has 1,850 pass yards. Quarterback 2 has 1,840 pass yards.
So close.
Quarterback 1 has 9 passing touchdowns. Quarterback 2 has 10. Quarterback 1 has 6 picks. Quarterback 2, 5.
Oh, man.
And they both, quarterback 2 averages 260. Quarterback 1 averages 230.
You said underwhelming initially.
Yeah, there's your first hint.
So teams aren't playing well. They're
Or
under.
the
Are they
quarterbacks
under 500
themselves.
teams?
Actually, no, they're both over 500.
Oh,
Both over 500.
So maybe that's more the quarterbacks I'm talking about then.
okay, that's fair.
NFC, both of them? Man.
No. Quarterback 1, AFC. Quarterback 2, NFC.
Wow. Because the numbers have been tight the whole year. I mean, they're all pretty much in the same ballpark. AFC.
Come on, Manuch, you got to get one right.
I'll say they don't have both of them have winning records, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say Geno Smith because he's got big numbers, but he's underwhelming right now. I'm going to go. I'll throw it out a winning record. I'm going to say Josh Allen, one of them. No. Oh, and then last one, not last. How about? Man, oh man.
Yeah, this
Winning-
is tough. We're gonna have to add some more to it next time.
Yeah, because that's just you got. Because I just look at the guys. With
So I'm
good-
cutting
probably
in
have
here,
the
Matt. I
pick.
think the game
Go
was
ahead.
supposed to be where Matt was going to read the stats and you had to pick which quarterback you'd rather go with. So I think there was a little confusion on the game there, but next week we'll make
Okay.
sure we get that straight away.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what was the answer
who's the last one?
Quarterback 1 is Trevor Lawrence. Quarterback 2 is Mac Jones.
God, I would have got you.
I almost said Mac Jones. I'm on the one.
Both on winning teams, but just not having great seasons.
All right.
Mac Jones good for coming in as a backup quarterback.
Their numbers don't wow you,
No.
but if they're winning, and then now with Trevor Lawrence getting a brand new receiver from Jacoby Myers from the Raiders, that will help those stats even more
Yeah.
so. That was pretty fun.
That's
Not
our
bad.
first edition.
Yeah.
We'll
Work on it.
some
Yeah.
adjustments in the future.
Hey, Football at 50 is brought to you by Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale, home of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. This week, the Huskers are in Los Angeles to take on UCLA and UCLA Bruins. Game time is 7 o'clock. If you are a Husker fan, I think it is the watch party, the official watch party, I believe, is this Saturday at 7 o'clock at Arena Sports Grill, which is at Bell Road and 62nd Street. All right, coming up, first college football playoff rankings are out. The road to Glendale for the semi is officially on. We're going to talk to Erik Moses, the president of the Verbo Fiesta Bowl and Fiesta Bowl Foundation. You got a 12-team playoff. What does that mean? We'll get his thoughts. It's been a fun week. So also, they had a heck of a day today with Arizona Milk Producers, so I want to dive into that too. It's Roc, it's Manuch, it's Laz, and Connor. We are out here at Right Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price, Right Toyota here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Hour number 2's next.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap Good RX. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little laugh does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
I'm Navy vet Phil Briggs, here for Navy Federal Credit Union. I always love Veterans Day because it's when I see my buddies posting up pictures of us when we were younger and built for speed. Navy Federal Credit Union also celebrates veterans of all branches and their families every day of the year. As a veteran, you can become a member and access exclusive rates, discounts, and financial tools for the whole family. So become a member today at NavyFederal.org/veterans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming. Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
All month long, celebrate National Dessert Month with sweet endings like our Cinnamon Toast Crunch, cheesecake topped with rum chata sauce, or the Twin Peaks Sundae with vanilla ice cream and a warm Ghirardelli brownie. Pair it with a Screwball peanut butter whiskey for the ultimate game day finish.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. Time for our weekly visit with the Executive Director and CEO of the Fiesta Sports Foundation, Erik Moses. This is our opportunity to take you behind the scenes and talk high-level college football. Erik Moses now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and streaming on the Arizona Sports app.
All right, before we get into the first CFP rankings and how that may affect this year's Verbo Fiesta Bowl, the bowl is involved, the foundation is involved in something that's really a big deal, and that is with the Arizona milk producers and their dairy drive. And I wanted Erik, if you don't mind, to tap into that first, because obviously that is an area that there's a huge demand with families that need milk and everything else. And what the milk producers do here in the Valley are just, they're tremendous, great people. And I thought it'd make sense to start with that so we don't miss out on that.
Well, I appreciate that. And the Arizona milk producers have been a great partner for the Fiesta Sports Foundation for years. And the work that they're doing now is even more important given food insecurity is growing, given some of the challenges we're having at the federal level and unemployment, et cetera. And so we know as of last year, 1 in 7 Arizonans and 1 in 5 children, 1 in 10 seniors suffer from food insecurity. And a lot of times those items that are in high demand in these food banks are milk, our dairy products. And so through that partnership with the Arizona milk producers, we're looking to get out there and donate money and encourage others to donate to families that are in need so that they can get the dairy product that they need in unfortunate times.
And their general manager, Tammy Baker, does a tremendous job. And another McClintock. We're at Right Toyota, and just Manuch is this. There's McClintock. What are you guys called?
The McClintock Chargers.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, seriously, Erik, about 15 minutes ago, somebody came up.
Joe Crosby.
Here we are talking about Arizona
Crosby.
milk producer with another person.
Yeah,
you guys run this city.
Tammy Teager, maiden name, now Tammy Baker. Your dad was great Dr. Teague, Dennis. So I go down that McClintock road all day.
Send her this clip. Oh, it's good stuff. All right, Erik. All right, so with the rankings that came out, what was your thoughts at first? Was there anything that kind of, I don't know, any surprises maybe in how the committee valued some of these teams that that they valued compared to what you saw on the field? Or do you think they got it right first week?
No, I think they got it largely right. We can always quibble, certainly when you get down, I think, past number 10. I mean, if anybody is taking issue with this first ranking, it's likely to be Notre Dame haters, right, who think a team that fits into ranked number 10 above kind of, some of these other teams, especially from the SEC, including Texas with 2 losses, Oklahoma with 2 losses, et cetera. But I wouldn't quibble with that. I mean, I think the thing we have to look out for with Notre Dame, because this year the CFP selection committee is actually giving you more credit for good losses, if you will. I mean, you guys know what I mean by that, right? Which when Notre Dame lost to Miami as a highly ranked team, that was, it's a loss, but it was a decent loss. If Miami continues to lose games, that turns into not such a good loss. And that could affect Notre Dame's overall standings down the road.
The one that I scratched my head on was Vanderbilt dropping to 19. They took Texas to the mat. Texas beat Oklahoma, but yet Oklahoma's 12 and Vanderbilt's number 16. Now, how in the world does that happen? That's some of those discrepancies I see sometimes, Erik, and I go, wait a second, timeout. So you look at the loss, as you mentioned, good loss, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes I just go, okay, all right.
Well, from my time in Nashville, I've become a little bit of a Vanderbilt homer and somebody who roots for them. I noticed that too, Manuch. I think the issue there is, as we would expect, people aren't fully believers that Vanderbilt is a football school now, right? They're wondering whether or not they've gotten some luck and done well in games that they could have and should have done well, but when rubber meets the road and you're playing those big time teams, can you get past them? So I think 1 or 2 more convincing SEC wins might help them to turn the corner and climb those charts.
Coaching carousel, Erik, your thoughts? There's some major jobs out there. Hugh Freeze is the last to get let go at Auburn. Your alma mater, you think there's going to be any changes there at North Carolina, or you think Coach Belichick's going to be there another year?
Man, I have no idea, but I know there needs to be some change because I'd like some more wins. Here's the thing that stands out to me the most about all of these coaching vacancies. if Mike Norvell ends up getting the axe at Florida State, and I'm not saying he will, but that's part of the rumor. If he does, I think his buyout is in the $50 million range. And so we could end up having, I think, $200 million in dead money that is being paid to coaches who have been fired and who are, getting millions of dollars to go home and relax with their families. And that just seems, given how important money is to the system right now, for players, for facilities, for everything else, for coaches and coaching staff, $200 million in dead money seems like something that would cause the entire system to maybe think twice about how these contracts get negotiated.
Erik, is a slippery slope. Let's just take LSU, for example. Obviously, it seemed like some boosters got in the ear of their governor to see that what you're talking about, those big buyout numbers that they had with Kelly. And then prior to that, Ogeron, I think they owe, $115 in buyout money. But the slippery slope, getting boosters and people contributing to the NIL, feeling they have a say in who's fired, who's hired, that AD or whomever is doing, he's got to be very careful that doesn't take over or infiltrate, I would think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we know that boosters have always had some say, whether it's because they were in the president's ear or the athletic director or the head coach or whomever. I think now they're being treated more in some ways like investors, right, and or stockholders in a company, and so that power is increased. I got to tell you, the thing happening down in Baton Rouge and in Louisiana, I think it's bad. Is one of my old coaches used to say is bad ball. Having politicians talk about athletic directors and the decisions that they make in those jobs after that athletic director has won national championships both in football and women's basketball and hired some pretty good coaches, I think it's a bad way to go. And I think LSU is not really the great job that a lot of commentators would make it out to be when you have to worry about the governor coming for your head.
It's nuts. Erik Moses joining us here, CEO of the Fiesta Sports Foundation. Erik, with all these jobs, I mean, it's a fun argument. Which the best job? LSU, Penn State, Florida, Auburn. I mean, the list goes on. And then there might be new ones. If some of these big time coaches leave, Michigan State could open up. You mentioned Florida State. I don't think Matt's going to leave Nebraska or Kurt's going to leave Indiana. But if they did, those jobs will be open. But if you're out there and you're an athletic director and you've been at that level, what job do you think is the best job? Which one do you think is the one that makes the most sense if you are a superstar?
I think it depends on what you want to accomplish. I mean, if I'm a guy like Clark Lee, who has come into Vanderbilt, his alma mater, and turn them into what appears to be a real football team. Am I looking at another rebuilding situation, kind of in probably what he might have at some of these jobs like Oklahoma State or Virginia Tech or UCLA or places that might be able to write really big checks? Or do I want to go to a more established program where the fundraising is already there, there's a tradition of winning, the fan base is already stoked, and you can count on them every year? I mean, I just think it depends on the kind of challenge that you as an individual are looking for.
I think more so than that, the understanding of everybody involved that with them going to 16 playoff teams in the future, does that conversation with that coach, I think to your point, Erik, that goes, it's that top-notch coach goes to UCLA. He says, all right, guys, you're behind the eight ball. Well, it's going to take us 3 or 4 years getting some kind of commitment. Or, so what we've been talking about, does he protect himself on the back end with that buyout so he's allowed to develop a new program?
Well, you bring up a great point. I mean, in this age of money being so important and so many, individuals, alumni, governments, et cetera, investing in these programs, they expect, like most investors, I want return on investment quickly. I don't want
exactly.
I don't want to wait. And I think it's critically important for these coaches and their agent to be able to negotiate on the front end, to have some time. Let's be real about what I'm inheriting here. Let's be real about what I'm walking into and how realistic it is to be able to build a contender in a year as opposed to maybe 3 years or what have you. If you don't have the support of your AD, you don't have the support of college president and of the biggest boosters, those dream jobs become nightmare jobs pretty quickly.
Yeah. And Eric, the reason why I bring that up, because, I train a lot of guys. I talk to a lot of parents, a lot of alumni all over. The game is really getting watered down, soured, whatever you want to call it, because of so many top-notch firings. It's truly turning into the NFL light or NFL minority, and it's losing its, I don't know, it's innocence. Not that it's in it, but it's losing that innocence of the last bastion of amateur sports. And people are souring on even more so, like they were at the NFL.
Yeah, in some ways, Manuch, I think it started to lose that when football coaches are getting paid $10 million a year to coach young men. Sure. Yes, you're there to help win games and all of that. But I think when you talk to the coaches that are the most successful and whose players truly love them, they knew that those coaches were there to help develop young men, right? Not just on the field, but also off the field and in life. And I think if that's important to your university, if that kind of bond with players, if that kind of culture is important for the long term, you got to give these guys a chance to build something. And building something sometimes requires some failure, right? And so I just think patience is a hard thing to come by in this environment, but we're going to need some patience in order for some of these guys to be able to build the kinds of programs that it looks like Cignetti is doing in Indiana and hopefully Matt will be doing out in Nebraska, et cetera.
Last one, the Rape Bowl, December 26th, 2:30 at Chase Field, Big 10 versus Big 12. A lot of projections out there that look really good. Arizona, Iowa, I think would be outstanding. I think Nebraska, Iowa State. This is going to be one of the better Rape Bowl matchups if things fall into place like it's looking that we've had in a long time, Eric.
I'm hoping so. We need right now the Big 12 I think has 6 teams that have already qualified for bowl activity. The Big 10 has 7. Given that both of those conferences will for certain have at least one and possibly multiple teams that go up into the CFP, into the playoff, we're going to need them to qualify some more teams so that we have more to choose from. As you know, we have the 5th selection and by pecking order in the Big 12 and the 6th in the Big 10. And so we're hoping that both those conferences qualify enough teams that we can get somebody good here.
That'd be awesome. Eric, as always, man, have yourself a great weekend. Appreciate your time today.
Likewise, gentlemen. Be well.
Eric Moses joining us, the CEO of the Fiesta Sports Foundation, and we always appreciate him taking some time. We do it every Friday here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. You can follow him on X at Fiesta Bowl CEO, the director and CEO. Good stuff. Let's get to a caller. We need a contestant to challenge Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe for a prize pack. And the way it works is just it's an over-under game, over-under 350 yards rushing in the BYU Texas Tech game. Or that's number 1. Number 2 is same thing, over-under 425 combined passing LSU at Alabama. And then the third is over-under 600 yards of total offense for the Cards Seahawks. And then winner score the Washington at Wisconsin game. So Connor will give those to you. We'll take the 5th caller at 602-230-0620. We'll do that off the air for you. And then Kevin will join us next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're streaming on YouTube, and we are out here at Wright Toyota.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
At Stretch Lab, it's not just athletes getting better, it's everyday people moving and feeling their best. Each one-on-one session is customized to you, guided by certified flexologists who help improve mobility, flexibility, and recovery. Whether you're chasing touchdowns or chasing the kids, Stretch Lab keeps you loose, strong, and ready for anything. Stretch your potential today. Find your nearest location at stretchlab.com. There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming. Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Parents, tired of conversations that go nowhere?
How was your day?
Fun. With conversation starters from parenting.org, you can turn fine into fun.
What was the funniest thing that happened today?
I was sitting next to Piper at lunch, and she had this, chicken fish patty thing.
Text CONVO to 51550 for weekly conversation starters, from silly to serious. And connect more with parenting.org from Boys Town.
Time to challenge the defender. Attorney Kevin Rowe from Arizona's full-service law firm Lerner and Rowe. Need a wreck and need a check? Just call Lerner and Rowe at 602-977-1900. At Lerner and Rowe, no fees unless you win. Now, Counselor Kevin Rowe on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
How we doing, Counselor? What's going on today? How's your Friday?
Oh my gosh, Roc's back from another load management weekend. It's great to have you back, buddy.
I went to my alma mater, last week. Needed to do that. Hadn't been back in 25 years. So, be nice. I was at your alma
Roc,
mater
I got to tell you,
ago.
I'm just looking out for Jimmy B and Manuch, but they haven't taken a load management day this year, and you seem to be taking them every other week.
You can appreciate this.
Trust me, Kevin, it's good that he does that, okay? We need to get him away.
Kevin, there's a reason why my name is first on the marquee. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. So that's how it works. I know you struggle with that because it's Lerner and Rowe. It's not Rowe and Lerner.
Oh,
so
ouch.
you're always in the back seat,
Wow.
right? Or the passenger seat. So
ouch.
You understand how that
Law
works.
firm, just so we're clear, Roc, law firms go in alphabetical order, not height, obviously.
I did not know that. Is that true? Is that really true? Do you know that,
Well,
Manuch?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I thought situation.
Yeah.
So it should be Manuch and Roc?
Yeah.
That doesn't go. Doesn't work.
No, the one that has all the heights goes second. So Manuch and we have something in common.
There we go. There we go. Thank you, Counselor.
And then what do you
what
do
they say
when you
about
got a
tall
whiff?
people, Manuch?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. You're not even 6 foot.
With his platforms on, he is.
Well, in Glenn, there was rumors, Kevin, that when you guys were shooting commercials many years ago, when they had those, they're called phone books.
Yeah.
You used to stand on the phone books. Is there any truth to that?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah,
it was actually sandbags. It was actually sandbags.
Sandbag. All right, Scott in Peoria is your contestant today. You got 4 questions. The first one is, There will be over under 350 yards rushing combined in the BYU Texas Tech game, and that is where game day is tomorrow. Over under 350 yards, Kev. 350.
250, is that what you said?
300.
350 rushing combined, Texas Tech and then BYU.
Oh, wow. Man, that's a tough one, especially being in Texas Tech, and Texas Tech has a great elite Russian defense. I'm going to go with the under. I'm taking the under.
Okay. You're going under? Which way Scott going?
Scott took the under on this one.
Okay.
All right, second one there counts. There will be over under 425 yards combined passing in the LSU at Alabama game. 425 yards combined in the passing of the LSU at Bama game.
Yeah, so obviously LSU is struggling. I mean, struggling because they just paid Brian Kelly $52 or $56 million, so they're struggling on that end.
Give or take. Yeah, give or take.
I'm actually, but I honestly think Garrett Nussmeier and Ty Simpson are going to put up some yardage just because that's the way these teams are. I'm going to go with the over.
All right,
the over.
Which way Scott going?
Scott rolled with the under again.
Interesting. All right, there'll be over under 600 yards of total offense up there in Seattle as the Cardinals will be there on Sunday. So Cardinals, Seahawks, over under 600 yards.
Total offense combined, Kevin, combined.
Yeah, so tell me, didn't Sam Darnold look good last week? Woo.
Sure did.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Sam Darnold and then Jacoby? Come on. Tell me right now, putting Kyler on IR, come on. He's not hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just the way to save face a little bit.
Yes, we're calling shenanigans on that.
Yep.
So I'm going to take the over 600.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
And which way is Scott going here, Connor?
To no surprise, Scott took the under.
By the way, Kevin, Sam Darnold, he had 4 touchdown passes before he threw an incompletion. He went 17 for 17.
That's amazing.
Before an incompletion. I couldn't do that versus air, counselor. I mean, that's how hard
I could do it with a nerf.
Yeah,
I could do it with a nerf.
Get his nerf off the wings on it.
Yeah.
He could do that.
You know me, Manuch. I wouldn't give that guy a whole lot of credit at all because of the college he came out of. But I'll tell you this. Then he turned around.
Ohio University? The Ohio University, 1804?
He definitely didn't come out of the Ohio University, but he came out of up Blank Creek. But I'll tell you this, though. He went to the school of Brock Purdy for a year and really got schooled up and ready to rock and roll. So, yes.
That's right.
I think Brock Purdy helped him, and that unit helped him because he's killing it right now.
Well, the lab extends itself because he said learn more from Brock Purdy / the lab.
He said that? He really said that?
Yes.
You were just saying that.
Said Sam Darnold said that he had learned more from Brock Purdy than he had ever had at any stop anywhere, whether it's USC, whether it's the Jets, where he saw ghosts, or anywhere. Right, counselor?
Look, Brock Purdy is a savant when it comes to NFL. When it comes to football, he reads defenses quicker. He gets the ball out quick. And the key thing, what did he always say? When he was on the practice squad, he goes, I'm going against the number one defense every day of the week. I'm going to learn. And he learns.
Yes.
He's a student of the game and actually now a professor of the game.
Yep. And he'll be here next Sunday, a week from Sunday. The Niners in town.
There you go.
All right, last one.
All right, winner and score of the Washington at Wisconsin game. Winner and score of the Wisconsin game in your UW Huskies.
Yeah, so I've said this, for the last 3 or 4 weeks. UW doesn't travel very well, but they're playing 0-5 Wisconsin at Camp Randall as 11.5-point favorites. So I get a little nervous when you start seeing it that big, but they've been playing great. Their offense really has been playing great. They lost against Ohio State. They lost against Michigan in the Big House. So I'm going to take the Dogs. And I think they're actually going to put up some points this week with the bye they had last week. So I'm going 37-13.
37-13. All right, Connor, which way did Scott go on this one?
Scott took the upset. He went Wisconsin 24 over Washington 21.
Oh,
right there
wow.
alone. That's
I felt
disgusting and sick. He should never be allowed to call in again.
I failed to forget. I give the credit. The number 23 ranked Washington Huskies taking on Wisconsin. So I apologize for leaving that little tidbit out there, Counselor.
Hey,
They're
Kev,
finally getting some respect.
Yes.
We got to give you respect because this is the time of the year where your team is out in different states, taking care of families with turkeys. Kind of elaborate on that for those that are maybe new to the Valley or have not heard what Lerner Rowe Gives Back does in regards to this time of year.
Yeah, thanks, Roc. So today's the day. We kick off today in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And obviously times are tough for a lot of people right now. Some benefits being cut off, nationwide, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So we're here, as always, we have been for the last 10, 12 years, doing our Thanksgiving meal giveaways. And we're just trying to spread some light and love and take off some of that financial burden that people have these times of year, this time of year. So just kicking it off in an hour and 30 minutes in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Then we go to Las Vegas on Sunday. And then we're in Tucson, then Phoenix, and then Bullhead City, Indiana, and then Yuma. So a lot of stuff going on for the next 2 weeks. But like I said, we're here just to spread some love, make sure that people can still get around that family table, have family and friends over, and have a nice meal and enjoy each other's company.
That is awesome. Good stuff as always, buddy. All right, man. Have yourself a great week. We'll talk to you next Friday.
I appreciate it. Have a great week, guys. Take care. God bless.
That's Kevin Rowe, Lerner Rowe, and Lerner Rowe Gives Back. I'll be having our annual golf tournament in April, as we always do, and raises over $1 million every tournament. So it's good stuff there. All right, our guy, Scott Spreitzer, he's going to join us to break down the lines, the locks, the traps of this weekend. From BYU, Texas Tech, and Lubbock to the Cardinals, Seahawks, and Seattle. We'll find out who he thinks who has the edge and where the smart money is going. But first, here is CC with another ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Phoenix Suns stunned the Los Angeles Clippers, that is, 115-102 last night, as Jalen Green exploded for 29 points in his season debut. Lifted Phoenix packs a shorthanded LA squad as they were missing James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. However, they are gearing up for a rematch this Saturday night in LA. Tip-off will be at 8:30 with pregame coverage starting at 8 o'clock on 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals prepare for Sunday's matchup against the Seattle Seahawks without several key players. Cornerbacks Will Johnson and Max Melton are both going to be ruled out, along with linebacker Mac Wilson. Cody Simon is expected to have the green dot this week. And, of course, Kyler Murray out as he was placed on IR earlier this week. We're back this Monday for the Eagles and Packers watch party at our home Monday Night Football. Biggs American Bar and Grill right in the P83 district. Join us as 20 fans will have a shot to roll for $10,000.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
At Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, we understand the tradition of golf, the joy of passing the game from one generation to the next. Since 1963, we've been helping families like yours enjoy the game of golf. Our expert team will help you find all the golf gear, shoes, and apparel you need. With over 60 years of experience and our legendary 90-day guarantee, we've always been here to help you get there. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
When driving in Arizona, move over or slow down for any flashing lights. Move over for tow truck drivers, highway crews, and emergency responders. Move over for any vehicle with its hazards flashing. Because at 65 miles per hour, a vehicle travels over 95 feet in 1 second. 1 second that could change everything. When you move over for anyone, you're not just doing it for them, you're doing it for their families. Their lives are flashing before your eyes. Move over, Arizona. Every vehicle, every time. It's the law. Please visit moveoveraz.org. This message is brought to you by ADOT and this station.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000. Mondays, Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
It's back. Sign up now for the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B annual Pro Football Pick'em Contest, powered by all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Pick the winners each week, score great prizes all season long, and earn bragging rights until next year. And don't forget, the guys are live every Thursday from 1 to 4 to kick off your football weekend at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. It's free to play and easy to join. Just head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com, powered by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views, and your home for pro football.
Now, sports gamblers, Scott Spreitzer, one of the leaders and most trusted names in the country. Nobody watches and studies games more than he does. From DocSports.com, here's Scott Spreitzer, exclusively on with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, let's get to it. We got a big weekend of college football and NFL, and Scott joins us now. How we doing today, Scott? What's happening? You doing all right?
Doing all right, guys. Get ready for some college baskets, among other things.
Yeah, so when do you start handicapping that? I mean, what, October, early October, when do you start forecasting some of these big games?
Yeah, I usually wait till about a month before nowadays. It used to be earlier, but my gosh, every team's got 24 new players, with the transfer portal. So it's kind of like I just wait as long as I can and get a general idea of what players are going where, what teams have stood pat. And then kind of wait till I really dive into it, which is different than I did years ago. And that's just to make sure you got, all the information correct with the transfer portal. And things you did 10 years ago to handicap early college basketball season are basically thrown right out the door because of the transfer portal.
Scott, I just wonder if Coapita at U of A, their opening game against Florida, might have gotten your attention, how well this young man played. And will he be one of the top prop bets coming out of college moving forward?
Oh, definitely. And, I was watching a good chunk of that game. I wasn't involved, so I was kind of just paying attention to some other games. But what they were able to do, I thought was pretty impressive because even though it's early in the season, and you look at that Florida lineup inside on the interior, and Arizona was not intimidated as they shouldn't be with their talent. But I was really surprised at how they were able to put up the kind of points they did in that game just because of the opponent and having to drive against those big bodies inside. And they were just fine, from all over the floor. It's funny, I jumped on them today when the line was 30. Guys, they're now a 33.5-point favorite over Utah Tech. This is one of those sports where I don't mind laying 30 or so early in the season. But, man, the sharp money is just poured in on Arizona tonight.
Easy, Connor, our fine producers, Utah Tech grad, former lineman. Easy on there, would you please?
And our other producer is an Arizona grad.
Yeah, Arizona.
So they got a side bet going.
I forgot to finish my sentence by saying, in all due respect to Utah Tech basketball.
That's good. All right, let's talk about game day. They head to Lubbock and BYU's there. The grit opposed to the firepower in the Big 12 heavyweight bout there. Texas Tech minus 10.5. That's still the number?
Yeah, 10. A lot of 10s, some 10.5s out there. And, the sharp move came in on Texas Tech, and I happen to agree with it. BYU's good, obviously. But they have lived off of opponents' mistakes in 4 wins this season. They were outgained and out first down, badly outgained, in fact, in the last 2 games by Iowa State and Utah. They gave up 6.7 yards per play in those 2 games, but they finished with a +6 turnover margin in the 2 games combined, and that was really the difference. I mean, Iowa State was up 24-10 at one point and committed 4 turnovers. As far as Tech, man, I mean, this is not a team that beats themselves, so I don't think BYU is going to catch any breaks here. They're undefeated when Baron Morton plays. The only loss was when he was sidelined, and that was a close game right till the very end. 16th through the air, Tech, 29th on the ground, 10th in total yards allowed per game, and average 44 points per game. The defense just as good as the offense. And I keep looking at BYU's freshman quarterback, Bear Bachmeier, who I like, but he's going up against his toughest opponent yet in a toughest situation yet. And the Red Raiders are number 1 against the run, number 36 against the pass, top 10 in total yards allowed per game. I think Tech kind of lays one on him here, guys. And I know that number seems big, but the sharp money's coming in on the Red Raiders. They probably win this game by 17 to 20 points, I would think.
All right, Scott, the second one, number 3, Texas A&M, led by former K-State quarterback, now OC Colin Klein. At number 22, Missouri, A&M -6.5. Why do I smell potential upset at Missouri with this bad boy?
Well, we're cooking in the same kitchen because I smell it too. A little bit of an upset here. And we'll see what the Tigers can do. They got their backup, Matt Zollers, at quarterback, getting his first start. He played quite a bit last game when Pavula got injured. 14 of 23, 138 yards and a touchdown against Vandy's top 10 defense. So Zollers, and he, by the way, he was like the 8th ranked quarterback coming out of high school when Missouri was able to get him to come to Columbia. So he's no chump change. We've seen some seasons when undefeated teams are hurt by a November bye week, which was the case for A&M last week. These teams that are rolling along and not losing any games, they don't want to really take a week off in November. It's hurt them over the years. And we have a conference where the home team this year, the SEC, has covered at a 61% clip. I do believe that Mizzou's running back, Ahmad Hardy, is going to get plenty of touchdowns, over 900 yards rushing this season, and that Tiger defense is top shelf. I think Missouri, at the very least, hangs the number here, and I think they're the play over A&M.
All right, Scott Spreitzer joining us here, DocSports.com, and you can always follow him at Scott Wins on Twitter. All right, the Ducks are flying east. You got Oregon and Iowa, and this is probably, at least for me, one game that I'm struggling with when it comes to betting it. I don't know why. I just, for some reason, I'm liking Iowa, but where are you going? You're the pro.
Yeah, when this line came out last Sunday, I'm sitting there and I'm like, boy, I want to find reasons to bet Iowa. And if you dig, you can. But I'm like, I just can't pull the trigger on the Hawkeyes. Yeah. The defenses in this game are quite similar. Their key metrics, that I use in handicapping includes like explosive rate defense, which is how they've done in holding opponents from long gains. And Oregon and Iowa are both fantastic in that metric. The difference for me, though, and the only reason I can't get on board with Iowa here is the offensive situation. I mean, they're all about the ground game, the Hawkeyes, as usual. 185 yards rushing per game. That's outside the top 40 in college football, and that's their best offensive stat. Passing game's 133rd in yards per contest. And we know they're going to want to run the ball. They're going to want to punt on 4th down no matter where the ball is. It's all about field position. Don't make mistakes. Take advantage of the other team's mistakes under Ferentz, and he's excelled. But, man, Oregon's as balanced as it gets. 240 passing yards and rushing yards per game is basically where they sit. Top 10 in offensive explosiveness. Only 7 teams in the country are worse than Iowa in offensive explosiveness, and I think that's going to be the difference. So what I ended up landing on was like Oregon 27-17, 24-14 in that neighborhood.
How big is style points for Oregon on this one? Because, obviously that Penn State game was big back then, but they did get beat by Indiana by 10. How big is points and scoring and really kind of beating a team that is ranked in the top 25?
For me, I think because, Indiana has shown how good they are, that, and it's a tough loss. And by the way, Iowa played Indiana pretty tough. They held the Hoosiers to 20 at home. But I look at this and I'm thinking they just got to get out of there with a victory, Oregon. The line of 6.5 shows there's enough respect on the Iowa Hawkeyes to where they're not expecting an Oregon blowout anyway. So for me, because of, the expansion of the playoffs and all that kind of stuff, the Ducks just got to get out of there with a win, whether it be by 1 point or 20 points. That's at least how I feel.
Rock thought this would be good therapy for me, so I got this one. K-Who at Arizona, -5.5. It just gets in my mouth. It just starts to make me quasi-puke. But that being said, U of A -5.5. How do you like this?
Well, I'm kind of surprised with Kansas this season and last, because I'm a Lance Leipold fan, their coach, and he did kind of resurrect the program. They go 9-4 a couple of years ago. They expected big things last year. And remember, before last season, Jalen Daniels was considered a Heisman candidate going into 2024. He's been much better this season because he's not throwing the picks, but the KU defense, my gosh, leaves a lot to be desired. And I know Arizona does more damage through the air than on the ground, but, I was going to talk about this Wildcats ground game against the Kansas run defense. But, guys, I searched everywhere, and I can't find a Kansas run defense. That's how bad it's been, So I think both teams are going to be able to pass, Daniels and Fafita. They've got a combined 41 touchdown passes and 7 picks. So I think we should see some points in this one. The total's climbed a bit. It's up to 57.5. I agree with the movement on the over. I think Arizona wins and covers. I think it'll be like a 38-30 type of affair.
And that makes sense because my Cats put 42 points on that supposed run defense. That was in Lawrence, by the way. So that says a lot in reference to the lack of running because we're not that good this year, if you notice. But we put 42 on those those Jayhawks kind of Lawrence games.
I love it.
All right, Scott, the NFL game, the one game, and that is Brissett versus Darnell. Darnell. I keep wanting to say Darnell Dockett for the life of me. All right, Seahawks -6.5.
Show you how old I am. I thought of Darnell Valentine when you said Darnell. Cardinals, getting 7 here, total 45.5. And Seattle's really going for it as they should. They've got the team to do it. Traded for Rashid Shaheed, as you guys know, early this week, and now they've got that speed burner, one of the fastest receivers in the NFL now to pair along with JSN. Cooper Kupp in the slot, although he's questionable this week, Kupp. But JSN was certainly playing extremely well, averaging over 16 yards per reception, and I don't think he gets enough credit for being able to get behind defenses. But now his job's, supposedly even easier. But all this hype this week, guys, on the Seahawks and the public jumping all over it, we had Arizona last week. This team's now 5-3 against the spread. They're 13 points from an 8-0 record. So their losses are coming in close, heartbreaking fashion, a la the Tennessee loss. I like the return of Walter Nolan, Garrett Williams. They come back. They shut down what had been a strong Dallas passing game. They held them to less than 5 yards per pass last week. And remember the first meeting between these two teams? Kyler Murray threw 2 picks in the game, but it was still a 3-point game that was decided on a last-second field goal. And I think Brissett can fare better against Seattle than Kyler Murray did. So, again, I think it's going to be a close, tight Arizona football game, and that makes 7 points worth taking.
Does it make any difference, or will that change, you think, between now and Sunday that Max Melton's out, Mac Wilson Sr.'s out, and also Will Johnson are out, 3 starters on defense?
Yeah, it's not changing the line at all, guys. And it's, it's kind of been sticking there in that 6.5 to 7 range. And, I jumped on it yesterday and had read some of the potential defensive issues. And I thought, it's not changing at all. I'm going to go ahead and play him anyway. And it's almost a little bit more like if you said split this, right down the middle, 100%. I would say it's like a 60% anti-Seattle play and a 40% pro-Arizona play this week. And again, I think it's a situation where Seattle, you're paying a price now because of all the hype and Shaheed coming to Seattle. I made that line 5.5. It's 7. So I got to take it even with the injuries on defense. If it was a left tackle or a quarterback, then I'd be thinking about, staying away from the game.
Scott, good luck. Have a great weekend. Thanks for the time.
All right, guys. Take care.
Scott Spreitzer. Follow him at Scott Wins and DocSports.com. Coming up, another black eye for college hoops, and this one hits home in Tempe. That's next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN. Phoenix 620.
It's back. Sign up now for the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B annual Pro Football Pick'em Contest, powered by all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Pick the winners each week, score great prizes all season long, and earn bragging rights until next year. And don't forget, the guys are live every Thursday from 1 to 4 to kick off your football weekend at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. It's free to play and easy to join. Just head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com, powered by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views, and your home for pro football.
Attention golf lovers and putting enthusiasts. Are you ready to elevate your game? At Putting World, we've got cutting-edge technology that'll have you sinking putts like a pro. With high-tech simulators and expert coaches, you'll be on your way to mastering that tricky six-footer in no time. Check us out at puttingworld.com. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or a newbie who thinks a hole-in-one is just a fancy donut, there's a place for you at Putting World. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World.
Alien Air Conditioning.
Hello, this is Chris with Alien Air Conditioning. Right now we're offering a free air conditioning and heating checkup plus a home energy audit. Yep, that's right, free. We'll help cut your utility bills by up to 30% and make sure your system is running out of this world. Just mention this radio ad to get your free AC checkup. Call
Alien Air Conditioning.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Mornings, it's Bickley and Murata, 6 to 10 a.m. Bickley and Murata, 6 to 10 a.m.
I like video live.
I like you too, Bick. Middays, it's Wolf and Luke, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wolf and Luke, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
What is up?
What's going on, Luke? Afternoons, it's Burns and Gambo, 2 to 6 p.m. Burns and Gambo, 2 to 6 p.m.
Bernsey, what's going on?
Arizona's biggest sports personalities are on the local sports leader. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
All right, a major NCAA gambling investigation just hit home in Tempe. Former ASU men's basketball player B.J. Freeman has been ruled permanently ineligible by the NCAA for his role in what they're calling a betting-related scandal, one that involved sharing inside info with known bettors, including his girlfriend and a former player at Fresno State. Now, he was a leading scorer last season, about 14 points. He was dismissed from the team back in February. And according to the NCAA findings that came out, between November and December of last year, he knowingly provided inside info to this guy, Michael Robinson of Fresno State, who was betting on Freeman's games during daily fantasy accounts, as well as his girlfriend was doing the same. Now, when he was questioned, he lied to the investigators on both the information he was sharing as well as the existence of this fantasy sports account that he had. There were also a bunch of other players, 3 from the University of New Orleans, 2 from Mississippi Valley State. They've all been permanently banned from the NCAA. And this is just the latest example of just some deep gambling ties that reach these college kids. And, you know, this is not just a rule book violation. This is a cultural shift, right? You got players betting on themselves. They're doing the daily fantasy apps, which we just got done betting, and the school's trying to police it. And Freeman was one of those faces of the ASU basketball team last year.
Sure was.
Someone of a black eye on the program.
Yeah.
I mean, and of course, it's not on a team anymore, but, you know, ASU's got to be accountable, right? Bobby's got to be accountable for this kind of stuff. It's not good for the PR for the university. And, you know, I want to ask you, does this like basically reflect a like a program oversight issue
I would say that
for the Devils in the front office?
Well, a couple things. He was a major
or
pain.
is it just Freeman?
He was a major pain in the rear end all year. He was always complaining. Remember, he got a couple T's. He was getting kicked out of games. And then Bobby Hurley had enough with him, so he kicked him off the team, as you just mentioned. Now, in reference to a lack of oversight, there has to be more oversight. And I think it's just so amazing how the feds can figure this out, NCAA. And if you're not overseeing your players or maybe somebody monitoring, maybe this has to happen, Rock. Maybe there's a new responsibility for quality control to monitor all their gambling apps. I think that these players need to let their quality control people know, give me your gambling apps that you're gambling on as part of a prerequisite as far as them playing. Now, they may not have known that these had this fantasy app, that this is going on. But when the feds get a hold of it and didn't give them a heads up, because this is probably all after they did all the research, it's after the fact. The kid's gone, he's moved on. So how much responsibility does ASU bear? I don't know, Rock. It's kind of hard for them if they don't have the inroads or the FBI or federal government or the federal feds to research unless they got a heads up.
Do you think there should be a difference between betting on your own games versus providing info to others?
It's the same difference. I mean, it's just as bad. You're betting on your own games because you bet on your own games, you can influence it, and you're giving info on your team. You can influence it. And who else knows what other information Freeman may have been receiving from other people, these guys down in Louisiana and Mississippi. And then the girlfriend, as far as manipulating or betting on something. And Scott Spreitzer told us this for years. We have been on for almost 18 years. Scott says they will flag something that's all of a sudden very abnormal. All of a sudden something that sees a spike or a lack thereof. Vegas is so good that they'll see something, and the feds, they're watching. They're going to see, and the oversight's got to be better, but there's going to be those that slip in the cracks. You and I and Jimmy have talked about this. Pandora's box has been opened. And I quite frankly, Rock, believe that this is the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be more coming down the pike from college. I think there's going to be more coming down the pike in professional sports. So people, just heads up. There will be more coming down the pike.
Yeah, there were 3 players back in September that got banned. And That was the Fresno State guy and I think San Jose State. And then they're investigating at least 30 right now, current and former players with these gambling allegations. But all right, Manuch, you pull up ESPN.com, and it is number 4 on the headline. Would you agree that there's so much of this that we're just numb to it? I don't even care.
Well,
because the NCAA obviously doesn't, because they can't police it.
I think you'd care if you're a major better of college sports, specifically ASU. If you're really dived in and you bet, let's say the over/under was 125, and the under was, and you bet over. Say, okay, they're playing Las Vegas and ASU, and because of what he provided, the number went to, instead of 125, it's like 110. And you're going, wait a second, what happened? They all played, or so-and-so went out midway through the second half. Or if you're starting to see a pattern, if you're a big bettor, and all of a sudden you're seeing a pattern with ASU basketball or whoever it is, or the feds are seeing a big pattern with something that doesn't make sense, all of a sudden you're going, something's amiss here, and it draws attention to a lot of the people. But for you as a bettor, it might go, wait a second.
Yes, but I just think we're seeing and hearing so much of it. I think it's for me, it's become all right. It's not like my lead story.
No, I think it's kind of
all right. There's another couple of guys that got
that's right there.
League.
I think for you and me and Jimmy, a lot of it's like we told you so. When they opened this up a couple years or a year ago, that college students, and even now,
you knew
that
Pandora's
this was going to happen.
Open, yeah,
and then that's why the NCAA is saying to the college players now, they put a hold on you betting on professional sports. So they've got that because all of a sudden, I don't know, take for example, if you're a top-notch ASU player and you're betting on the Detroit Lions and you got a buddy that plays for the Lions and you go, hey, look, is golf going this week or not? You get any kind of insider information, and that comes back, and you go, hey, guys, I just talked to so-and-so, and he said golf's limited. He's probably not going to go. Then all of a sudden you see some bet spike in favor of, let's say they're playing Green Bay in Green Bay. Then all of a sudden you're okay. The feds connect the dots.
But Manuch, it was just a few weeks ago where all 3 NCAA divisions,
right,
1, 2, and 3, all proved.
They all proved
the proposal to let student athletes bet on pro sports.
Yes,
and then the SEC gets involved. And Congress, and it's just basically on pause right now.
It is, because when Congress got a hold of it, they said, NCAA, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, guys,
Dumbass.
Because they're talking about the same stuff we're talking about. Go, wait a second. We're going to be investigating who's the oversights, these kids, these young men and women, they start to get money or they get in a hole from Joe Mafia, and they got to fix games or give insider information. Roc, it's Pandora's box. It is not good for amateurs to be betting on pro sports while those amateurs are still playing. That's the rub right there. Is those amateurs are still in games. They may not be in the season. They might be, when their season rolls around, they may have to do some favors for whomever if they get caught up or get behind. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm not, and to your point, I'm not surprised. But you know what? Who the hell's overseeing these young men and women? Or anybody to say, we got this, and this. And by the time they get to them, they're going to be indicted. They're going to be out of college sports. Hey, they're out of college sports for good. I get it. But wait till the feds get them into court and they go down that road. Good luck.
Some quick stories today. Patrick Mahomes will be the guest speaker in Lubbock tomorrow for game day. There's a Japanese superstar home run guy. Murakami is, I think, how you say his last name. And Jeff Passan is reporting that the process has started, a 45-day negotiating window to come to the United States and play on an MLB team.
So he'll be with the Dodgers next year, right?
Yeah, probably. Dodgers or Yankees.
I mean, I got Suzuki, Yamamoto, Ohtani. What's this guy's name? Mariami?
Yeah, something.
He'll be a Dodger. It is Japan
Rich
West.
Get richer, don't they? Oh, man. All right, coming up, Arizona, Kansas, both fighting for bowl eligibility. It's going to be an interesting weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We also will get into a conversation with John Skelton, former Cardinals quarterback. So we got that coming up and more. It's Roc and Manuch. Jimmy B from Roy Toyota right here on ESPN 620 and on FM 98.7 HD-2.
Staples presents an easy holiday.
Running a small business during the holidays is hard.
No truer words were.
But this year, Staples helped me have an easy holiday.
Your script has a typo.
Nope, easy peasy. I just ordered online at staples.com and picked up in store. And with UPS on site, shipping was easy too. Plus, huge savings on tech, custom cards, even my holiday sales signage.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com today for up to 45% off select laptops.
That was easy.
Ins 12/27.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Who wants to hit LA? Sign up for the Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway, powered by Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Grand prize, 2 tickets to see the Cards at the Rams January 4th at SoFi Stadium, hotel at the Westin LA, and a $500 Visa card. Runner-up scores a $500 big game tailgate at Twin Peaks for you and 9 friends. Scan to score at Twin Peaks or text Peaks to 59925 to enter. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views, and football dreams.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming, Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
Blitz coming, but it's picked up. Over the middle on a deep cross, and it breaks wide open. Gio Richardson, touchdown, 60 yards.
Well, tomorrow, 1:30 down in Tucson. You got Arizona and Kansas. Arizona minus 5.5. The over-under is 57.5. 2 teams chasing bowl eligibility. Arizona's coming off they just destroyed. They crushed Colorado 52-17. That was a get-right game for them. And then Kansas, they stuck past Oklahoma State. They got a brutal stretch after Arizona. They're going to be at Iowa State, and then they got Utah. So this is a game they need to get. But Arizona, they've been somewhat balanced on offense. They got the ground game going, about 200 yards per game. Passing attack, Noah Fiesta has been doing really well. And their defensive front's been okay. So let's see if they can – I mean, this is a game they should win, I would think.
I would think. I mean, you know, you talked about Oklahoma State getting smoked by KU. What was it, 38-21? The thing that was kind of interesting is that KU was only up 10-7 at halftime against Oklahoma State. You know, I have a wounded team. Here they are 1-7 coming in and taking on this KU team at KU, and KU is bouncing back from getting smoked by Kansas State, giving up 42 points. They give up 21 points to Oklahoma State, who's not a very good team. So I can see this U of A team. You talked about the balance. They blew the doors off of Colorado, who's not a very good team right now. But the common denominator when you watch this Arizona team is Noah Fifita. Fifita is just, he's hitting on all cylinders. He's throwing to 7 to 8 different receivers. Their running game is just, you know, on par. They were over 200 yards rushing. So the one thing you see with U of A right now, at least I see, when they win is the balance. Fifita not throwing any picks. He has 3 or 4 touchdowns. T-Mac is gone for a year now, so he's back to the kind of the passing game they had when T-Mac was there. And it just, you're seeing that Brett Bowen and his team is pretty much settled down offensively. The only thing I would caution against is with Jalen Daniels, a quarterback for KU. He's starting to get it again. He was a little bit of a slump. K-State, you know, manhandled him pretty well. But, you know, as far as passing, they don't throw it a lot, but they really rely on their running game. They had 232 yards rushing against that Oklahoma State team. The thing I look at for U of A is they've gotten better the last 2 games as far as wrapping up and tackling. And when they had that little funk, especially against BYU, I'll never forget that. Going to overtime, they were missing tackles left and right. Bear was running all over the place, quarterback for BYU. And you just went, that's a very uncommon thing for U of A's defense to be so solid. And they also gave up. Remember that game they gave up their first passing touchdown of the year? Well, their pass defense is playing much better. So I think that, to your point, Rock, they should win this game, I feel, going away. But they better be careful. I told Laz this, if I'm U of A alumnus, you better be aware of Jalen Daniels, fifth-year guy. He can break it out at any time, and he's been throwing the ball very effectively. So you can't just blow this off. And I think you also said both of them fighting for bowl game eligibility. So a big game, 1:30 should be about, 80 degrees at kickoff at 1:30. They should beat the Jayhawks. I'm not going to say going away. It could be a close one, but they should go ahead and manhandle this team.
All right, we're week 11 and some of the games to watch. It's a pivotal Saturday with some of these games. You got 3 ranked versus ranked matchups. The early games at 10 o'clock, a college game day showdown at Lubbock. And that'll be interesting with BYU and Texas Tech. That'll be on EBC 15. This matchup marks the first time in a few years where you have a top 10 Big 12 showdown, either in the Associated Press or the college football players, or the CFP, poll. So that's a big game. Georgia at Mississippi State. They're good. Number 5, Georgia heads to Starkville, which they've had a track record of taking SEC teams to the wire, despite them being 1-5. So they play these games. They're pretty tight, that being Mississippi State. And then the 1:30 games, Texas A&M at Missouri. Some are thinking that Missouri could upset the Aggies in this one. And then Oregon at Iowa, that's also at 1:30. Both those games have significant impact on the rankings next week. And then finally at 5:30, it will be number 4 Alabama welcomes LSU to Tuscaloosa, while number 14 Virginia has Wake Forest. So we'll have to see. So you got some good games. Nothing great, but every week we go into these games, we're like, what are going to be the biggest games? And we're like, all right, on paper they're going to be okay. They end up being great. There's upsets. There's always been upsets.
You had talked about style points a little bit earlier.
Oregon?
Yeah. Auburn taking on Vanderbilt. So Auburn lost its coach. You think Vanderbilt will just run the score big time? They're at 16th ranked now. Talk about style points. To get back to blow the doors off of an SEC team like Auburn at 4-5. Here you are, ACC, SEC, to kind of prove that point with, I'd be a little upset, not major, that, hey, you dropped me to 16. We took Texas to the mat. Texas is 11, and OU, who they beat convincingly, is 12, and we dropped to 16. So I think there'll be some of that angst where these coaches have got to not make that a focal point, but if these coaches have a chance with 3 or 4 games to go in the year to try to get into the top 12 or get to the point where they can win their division or get in the division championship, I think you're going to see a lot of that, the points being run up on some of these teams.
Could you see a major upset tomorrow?
Yeah, I could. I think
Indiana at Penn State.
Ooh, you know what? I
you think these kids are coming together? I know the
Yeah.
shock of losing your head coach. They're not very good. I mean, they're not bad. They're a good football team. They fortunately don't have their quarterback, but there's always that game every year in the Big Ten where someone's going to lose. And I'm not saying number 2 Indiana is going to lose, but in a way, I'm saying yes, they are.
Well,
if there's ever an upset, that would be such a big upset, and that would mess everything up. I think it'd be fun.
Didn't Penn State, haven't they covered the last couple of weeks? There was a couple of games where they've been very competitive, and I thought that one of the games where I thought they'd get blown out, I thought they covered. They played very well into the third quarter. Now, Ohio State just blew the doors off in the second half, but they hung in there. I don't know, Rock. I don't think they don't have the horses.
Indiana's just going to blow them out.
Yeah, they don't have the horses to go the entire game. They might be good for a quarter.
I'm rooting for an upset.
I like Cignetti. I like him.
I do too.
I really like what he's done. I like his climate he's had since then. I'm a Cincinnati. I mean, I should say, but an Indiana fan of what he's done there and what they're doing. I'd love to see Indiana get into that Big Ten championship game and talk about an upset. It could be them upsetting Ohio State, maybe. But I think they'll all be there. But I don't see any major upset. The only one I'm hinting at is Missouri and A&M. A&M's going to Missouri, and Missouri might have that game in them with their backup quarterback.
Daily digit, $7 million. That's the money Texas Tech invested to secure 5 defensive linemen during the offseason.
All 4 are starters, and the other starters they had are backups. $7 million with the 4 of them. So basically, $1.7 million per kid. I think they're doing pretty good.
What do these kids do with all that money?
I was just going to say, I hope they have a financial planner or money manager. I would hope. I mean, all of a sudden you get $1.7 million after taxes. Say you got $800,000. Wow. I mean, you kind of go,
Connor.
I think from there.
Well, you guys are talking about it. I'm not sure if you've seen that there's a cycling video going around on social media right now. The Kentucky quarterback, the backup who got transferred over during the offseason, he got paid a bunch of NIL money, but he hasn't been playing. Well, I guess some fans have kind of got on him. So he answered on Instagram and Twitter by saying, why don't you go get your money up, while showing all of the fans the $100 bills he has from his NIL deal.
Wow. I love it.
I got mine. You got yours? Obviously
I believe it was
not.
Kyle Costanza.
Oh, man, how about that?
That is good.
Costanza.
Hey, make sure you get in and sign up for our Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway. It's presented by us, where we are going to send 2 people to the Cards-Rams game. That's January 4th at SoFi. Get a couple tickets, hotel at the Westin, and money for airfare as well. Runner-up will get a $500 Twin Peaks gift card that can be used at any of the 5 lodges in the Valley. You can either scan the score with the QR code at Twin Peaks. It's on their TVs throughout their locations. Or the easiest, just text Peaks to 59925. That's Peaks 59925. We're going to award this on December 18th. Standard message and data rates apply. All right, coming up, the Kyler Murray era might be on life support, right, in Arizona. I mean, you think?
I would agree.
We're going to catch up with John Skelton in about 15 minutes to talk about that. But next, Suns finally got their first look at Jalen Green, and it's wow. It was worth the wait. 29 points, 6 threes, played well with Book. We're going to break it down, the highs, there were a couple lows, and what Jalen's debut means going forward. That's all coming up from Wright Toyota. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Tired of the same old weekend routine? Then head to Putting World. Experience an elevated 18-hole golf adventure followed by delicious eats, handcrafted cocktails, and live music at our chef-driven restaurant, Bar 19. Enjoy daily specials and happy hour deals that are sure to keep your wallet happy. Birdies, bites, and brews await. Check out this week's live music schedule at puttingworld.com or just swing on by Putting World, located in the Scottsdale Promenade. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at OrangedaleLounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming, Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
Richards up high, can't grab it. Ryan Dunn saves it into Jalen Green for 3, and he hit another one in the left corner. 29 on the night. His first night in the Suns uniform, and he's feeling the love right now.
John Bloom with a call there. Arizona Sports as Jalen Green's debut. Just outstanding. 29 points in 23 minutes. He was 10 of 20 field goals, 6 of 13 from deep. He set the record for the most threes in a Suns debut at 6. And you could just tell there was instant energy. Maybe you could even say there was a swagger in the lineup with Book and him and how good of a player he is. And for Book, nothing changed for him. 24 points. I know he's averaging 30-something, right? But 7 assists, 6 boards. Didn't need to do it all. I mean, that's the key. And then you had some balance with Grayson Allen, who I didn't think was going to go because he was kind of probable or questionable.
Sick.
Yeah,
the flu bug.
18 points. And Royce O'Neal, 17 points, 5 3-pointers. And then Mark Williams, he's doing what we thought he would do. He's in that 13 points, 10 boards. That's kind of what he did where he came from. And here's a big one. Manuch brought this up the other day. Turnovers. Only 2 turnovers in the third after 11 in the first half. So they cleaned it up at halftime, which is good. So it was a big third quarter for them. They outscored the Clippers 40-23. That's when the game turned right for the Suns. So good stuff there. I don't think there was much low lights other than the second quarter was kind of didn't seem like they had it going on.
Only scored 17 points. They struggled. I think that's when a lot of subs came in. It was kind of like that rush.
They were down at half by 3.
Yeah, they were. It's kind of like that rush. You start off a game and you're just energized and you get a big lead. All of a sudden, things settle in, right? They settle in and settle down. And I also think you look at all 5 starters in double figures, sharing the ball, passing the ball. And you had 6 total. And I really felt Ryan Dunn coming off the bench, 25 minutes, he had the 10 points. He really looked like that's his role. I like this starting 5. Now, when Brooks gets back into the game, it'll be interesting to see if he replaces O'Neal or Allen or how that works itself out. Because I think right now the rotation, because Royce O'Neal was a spot starter last year. Seems like he's more of a starter this year. O'Neal, Williams, Allen, Booker, and Green. That group looked pretty good last night. I mean, they moved the ball. And I think Dylan Brooks, he will move the ball. Not the greatest shooter, but he's not bashful either. But I think he's another defensive weapon that has to start when he comes back. And he will once he gets his core injury settled up. But it was good balance. And I'm sure for Devin Booker to share the ball and not have to carry the load, as you said, Rock, was a welcomed relief.
Do you think this version of the Suns they're finally deep enough?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, because you could have, if Brooks goes back into the starting lineup and O'Neal goes to the bench, you think about that. I mean, Colin Gillespie played 25 minutes, only had the 2 points. Either Gillespie, you look at Dunn, and then whether it's O'Neal or Brooks coming off the bench.
Brooks and Dunn going to be on the court
at the same like time? That? Yeah, they're and so the tickets are pretty cheap too.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the key toward the end of the year. Because you look at the Clippers, they're banged up right now, but they're deep. Look at OKC. They're deep. They're hitting on all cylinders. The teams you looked at, and then the other thing too is you looked at when Denver last year went to the semis, how deep they were, to take OKC to the mat in the Western Conference Finals. So it's a good point. If you stay healthy, are you deep enough? And if you're deep enough, how does everybody play together? How does everybody work together? And then for Jordan Ott as a head coach, how do you work those rotations that make sense so you can win games?
So when we talk about weakest links, chemistry we thought maybe could be an issue, but apparently it wasn't yesterday. But again, that's only game one. We'll see what happens against the same team on Saturday night in Los Angeles. So if there was still a weak link, could it be maybe down the bench and the bench scoring because you said, 5 in double digits, or maybe the interior defense could be an area that they could use some help?
I think that was the main thing, was the interior defense getting back at times, especially then that second quarter with all the turnovers they had in the second quarter. I think right now the Achilles heel for this Suns team is the turnovers and points off turnovers, because you looked at the other night in the last loss, you saw that the Suns had 17 turnovers and they gave up 22 points. I forget who the last game was, but they had like 19 turnovers. They only gave up 12 points. So a lot of it is, okay, is it a ball out? Is it a fast break? What is it? I just think if they take care of the ball, in that third quarter, as you alluded to, they take care of the ball. All of a sudden, you look at the points given up and turnovers. Sometimes it's they lose by half of what was given up. And I think they'll get more victories if they just take care of the ball and get back on defense. And the interior defense, they did get more offensive rebounds, though, than the Clippers. They did do that. Zubac, by the way, he's just a dude down low. Is he not?
Yeah, they struggled early with him.
That guy, he just stood in there and just kind of went up. They couldn't control him. So you got to put like 5 bodies on him or get a bulldozer to block him out of the paint, because he just kind of hangs around and just reaches up, and next thing you know, he got 2 points.
All right. I'm not trying to be negative, but could you make a case that we are overreacting to this sample size? Because if Harden was in there and Kawhi Leonard was in there, they're pretty good. Some good
they're
defensive
scorers.
players, but they're scorers too. But they obviously on defense too. And can this duo be sustainable against that?
Well, and I think that's the big question.
What do you think? 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah,
You're really going to know what this team is with everybody playing?
With Kawhi Leonard, you never know when he's going to be back. But I agree with you. I think if you got their starting 5, their healthy team, versus the Suns' healthy team, let's say you play the best 2 out of 3. I think the Suns come away with at least one of those.
Oh, all right, one win.
One of them, yeah.
Okay,
I think Clippers will win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I do.
But it'd be a great litmus test, and I think that's what Jordan Ott is hoping for. Is that when you play some of these top teams in the NBA, you want to hope you're healthy, and you want to hope they're healthy to see what you have or what you don't have. Now, yeah, they struggled. They had to make a run there in the third quarter. They end up winning that game, but I think it's still a work in progress till you figure out they have the complete healthy team.
We're seeing flashes.
Sure,
it's back to appointment television again to see the Suns, and of course we thought the way they started it was okay. This is here we go.
You could feel it in the crowd
it's
too.
The Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, okay.
At first, come on. On paper, this team it's not a playoff team.
I would say this. They should beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yes.
Like last year, that never happened and then when they play a Clippers or a Lakers or Milwaukee Bucks or OKC, I think for Suns fans, it's to say, okay, here's the best of the best, especially OKC, Milwaukee. And if you take on Indiana, okay, what does the Suns team really have? And if they don't have it, to your point, what's the missing link? What would they need to go chase? Free agent wise, maybe draft wise, that would help scratch that itch in the next couple of years. But I think this is a good core nucleus. They can keep this group together for at least 2 years. Then they got to add a piece here and there and see some of the other guys develop. I think that's the biggest thing you hope for. But yes, until they play the best of the best let's say the Clippers are healthy and the Suns are healthy, how the Suns do go against their best 10 versus our best 10, how'd they turn out? And I think the thing that will alwaar its ugly head if they don't take care of it will be the turnovers. I mean, that's just you got to take care of the turnovers.
Staying with basketball, if you missed it, a major NCAA gambling investigation hit home a little bit to Tempe as former ASU basketball player B.J. Freeman has been ruled permanently ineligible by the NCAA in a betting-related scandal. It had to do with his girlfriend, had to do with some inside information, had to do with another guy that got kicked out of the NCAA at Fresno State. If you recall, he was the leading scorer last year, 13.7 points. But he was dismissed in February because, as Manuch said, he was a knucklehead. And according to the findings last November and December, what he did was provide inside info to a guy at Fresno State who was betting on Freeman's games through a daily fantasy account. His girlfriend was involved in that, was doing it as well. Freeman even lied to investigators, said he didn't do all that. And he is, along with 5 other players, are the latest. He had 3 from the University of New Orleans. He had 2 from Mississippi Valley State. He had 3 just a few weeks ago. And, of course, the 30-plus that are being investigated right now, former players and current. But he's now permanently banned from any kind of NCAA competition. You wonder if a guy like that, pretty good basketball player.
Damn good basketball player.
Yeah.
I was just going to say.
He's still going to end up in the league?
Well.
Or is he going to be a Europe guy?
You know what? It's a great question. I think that if you talk to a lot
is he blackballed?
Well, I will say this. Adam Silver would be very hesitant
you would hope,
take
but
him. Yeah, I mean, you have a history like that. They just dealt with it, 3 weeks ago with Chauncey Billups and Rozier. I mean, do you think he wants to bring that kind of a kid into the league that's got that in his background? I don't think so, but if they were to bring Freeman in the NBA, they'd have to have more than enough. They'd have to have some kind of controls on him. But I think, maybe he goes over to Europe. He plays on some of those teams. But even in Europe, we get Tim Kempton on every Wednesday, and he played in Europe. He said, you talk about competitiveness, and if you don't pan out, they get rid of you, but they watch all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So if he gets cute again and tries to go down that road, his basketball career, I don't care if he goes to Siberia, will be done.
All right, with Jacoby Brissett, he's lighting up the defenses. Drew Brees had something to say. You're going to hear that. Plus, what does this mean for the future of the franchise with Kyler Murray being out, at least for now, as he's on life support here in Arizona? We're going to ask a guy who knows the position. He knows it well, and he knows the city. Former Cardinals quarterback John Skelton will join us to break it all down. That's next, right after this ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Suns stunned the LA Clippers 115-102 last night as Jalen Green exploded for 29 points in his season debut, lifting Phoenix past his shorthanded LA squad that was without James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. The Suns are now gearing up for that rematch Saturday night. It will be in LA, and tip-off is at 8:30 with the pregame coverage starting at 8 on 98.7 FM. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals prepare for Sunday's matchup against the Seattle Seahawks without several key players. Cornerbacks Will Johnson and Max Milton are both ruled out. Linebacker Mack Wilson is ruled out, with Cody Simon expected to have the green dot on his helmet. And, of course, quarterback Kyler Murray, who was placed on IR earlier this week. Coverage of that game begins at 2:05 p.m. on 98.7 FM Arizona Sports. We're back this Monday for Eagles-Packers. Watch party at our home of Monday Night Football, Biggs American Bar and Grill, right in the P83 district at 83rd Avenue. Join us for your chance to roll the dice for $10,000.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
At Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, we understand the tradition of golf, the joy of passing the game from one generation to the next. Since 1963, we've been helping families like yours enjoy the game of golf. Our expert team will help you find all the golf gear, shoes, and apparel you need. With over 60 years of experience and our legendary 90-day guarantee, we've always been here to help you get there. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
It's back. Sign up now for the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B annual Pro Football Pick'em Contest, powered by all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Pick the winners each week, score great prizes all season long, and earn bragging rights until next year. And don't forget, the guys are live every Thursday from 1 to 4 to kick off your football weekend at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. It's free to play and easy to join. Just head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com, powered by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views, and your home for pro football.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
The ball, 3-step drop, looks right, throws right in the end zone. Caught for a touchdown by Trey McBride. Jacoby Brissett again on time, on target, and the Cardinals extend their lead to 23-7.
All right, joining us now, Fordham great, and of course
the Fordham Flash, right?
Yeah, the Fordham Flash.
Yes, he was.
John Skelton joins us now on the right to a guest sign here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. How we doing there, John? What's happening?
Life's good, fellas. Life's good. How about yourselves?
Can't complain. I'm sitting here with Manuch. You know, it doesn't get any better than that.
Best thing he could ever have right now.
For down 21 years. Hey, John, when you look at the whole situation, Kyler on the IR, Jacoby Brissett winning a game and playing well, what's your overall takeaway? Are we seeing the beginning of the end of Kyler's era here in Arizona?
I mean, it's one of those where if it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, it swims like a duck, it might be a duck.
Sure.
And it's, you know, I think we're all speculating. We've all seen one good game out of Jacoby. We know he's a solid backup. It sure looks like it's going that way. I wouldn't bet everything I have on it quite yet, but I'm definitely leaning in that direction.
And don't you think that when he's healthy, that being Kyler, that if for some reason, I know the odds are against him, that the Cardinals make a run, got 9 games to go, and let's just say 4 or 5 games down the road, all of a sudden they're in the wild card hunt, and if Jacoby goes down, I would expect if Kyler's healthy for him to come in and help pick up the slack if they're in the hunt for a wild card. Would you agree?
Yeah, that I would go pot committed on that one and say, yeah, if that's the situation, if we're looking at week 15, week 16, and we're right there in the hunt, something, heaven forbid, happens to Jacoby, and you have a healthy Kyler Murray there, I think he's going to go in. I mean, the other thing, too, is it might not be a chance for him to redeem himself as a Cardinal, but now he's on display for the other 31 teams to say, hey, this kid's still got some gas in the tank. Let's not write him off yet. And, you know, it increases his trade value, or, you know, maybe the team really likes him and scoops him up, and it's a win-win for everyone. And
the term you used, heaven forbid, that Jacoby Brissett goes down. I've told a lot of people what I like about Jacoby. What is it that John Skelton looks at after that Colts game, then the second game, the Cowboys game, that you really see a difference in the offense being run?
Yeah, the thing I've been telling all my buddies is I'm a huge fan of backup quarterbacks that never get as much love as they deserve. And Jacoby's definitely that guy. He does everything right. He's probably one of the best guys, one of the leaders in that locker room. He probably helped Kyler more than any other player in that locker room on a day-to-day basis. And when his number was called, he was ready. And it wasn't just here. It was in Indianapolis. It was in New England. He's always been ready. And a guy like that is valuable for a team, whether he plays, the remainder of the season or whether he just plays a couple of games and things change. His control of the offense, him being a veteran leader, his ability to go through his progressions and go from 1 to 2 to 3 or a check down and just keep the ball moving forward and not having negative plays, I think has really been the biggest difference in this Cardinals offense.
And John, why is it so many people forget he's a 10-year vet? He started quite a few games. So he's been there and done that. He knows what's on the other side of the mountain, right? He's climbed the mountaintop. Why does that not get enough? Why does that not get enough play about his starts?
Well, it's the NFL, and I guess really sports in general are star-driven leagues, right? Who do we talk about? We talk about the Dallas Cowboys, whether they're having a good year or not. We talk about Patrick Mahomes, even though his Chiefs are third place in the division. A guy like Jacoby, any guy that's a 10-year veteran, has been doing things the right way for a long time, and it's really a nod to him doing what he's supposed to do in the darkness and doing everything that a veteran is asked to do, not only at the quarterback position, but any position, so that when your time does come, you put it all on display and you extend your career by another year, another 2 years. You keep your name alive. And guys like him, guys like Tyrod Taylor, guys like Case Keenum, I have nothing but respect for those guys because I wish I would have had a career like those guys did.
He's John Skelton. We're Roc and Manuch here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. If you're the GM, you're Monty Ossenford, and throw Jonathan Gannon in the room with you, you got an offseason that's going to be here before you know it. And if you're not going to move, you try to move Kyler, you keep both, or you just turn the page completely and with the number 7 pick in the NFL draft, the Cardinals select. I mean, where do you see this going in your crystal ball?
I know from being in situations like this, from being in a locker room where you're kind of shuffling back and forth between quarterbacks, is everyone in that locker room, including the coaching staff, including Gannon, are thinking, how can we win? How can we win this week against Seattle? That's the whole game plan.
Okay.
I think for Monty, who's more at a tower level, that's kind of looking over everything, he's probably thinking more along those lines. Hey, what is the next 4 weeks now that Kyler's on IR? What does that look like? And then what do the next 4 weeks beyond that look like? And then what does the offseason look like? What does the free agency look like? So I think Monty's, he's the one that's more thinking long-term. I think Gannon and the guys in the locker room are just thinking, how can we win in Seattle? How can we put our best foot forward going up to Seattle to play a good Seahawks team?
Speaking of that, when we talk about shuffling, Kyler off the Buffalo, so to speak, you got Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Danny Dimes, who all went to the scrap heap, right? Darnold, this is his 4th team. Danny Dimes, his 3rd team. Baker Mayfield, his 3rd team. So just those 3. So what's the commonality with their success at Seattle, Indianapolis, and Tampa Bay?
Change is good sometimes, Manuch. Just different scenery, different coaching staff, different offensive philosophies, having different receivers, different guys, different centers can always be changed. Change can be good. The thing is, though, is you have to show whatever team you go to that you're willing to perform whatever role it is, right? Baker, he's been a starter. He's been a backup. Danny Dimes is, New York, you're under the brightest spotlight there is. And he didn't perform, but he didn't shy away either. He knew he needed to do better, and the change has been good for him. Kyler, I think, needs to show that regardless of what my situation is, I'm going to be the best teammate I can be. I'm going to study. I'm going to know the plays inside and out. And when my opportunity comes, I'm going to be ready. And take it back to Jacoby. That's what he was. You know, he was a loved teammate. He was the guy that was always ready. And for Kyler to assume a role similar to what Jacoby is now, or even a starter again in the league, he has to win over everyone in that locker room.
John, do you think you should lose your job if you get hurt?
No.
So
and again, I've been in situations. I've been in situations like that. You're named the starter for a reason. You're the best option, you know, at the beginning of the season or whenever that decision was made. I don't think you can lose your starting position due to injury, but you can certainly play yourself out of a starting position.
Okay.
And then kind of have the straw that broke the camel's back be an injury.
Yeah. So you played in Seattle. You started in Seattle. Just tell our listeners what that's like, how loud that is. I've never been there for a game. Rock has.
I have. It's awesome.
I've been to Arrowhead. I've been there. But how do you describe it from a guy that's been behind the center and you can barely hear yourself?
Yeah, loud is the first thing. Once you're in a situation, you're backed up, you know, right up against the goal line. You're trying to just get enough room to punch, and that stadium is loud. The fans are something else. I remember walking out of the tunnel one time, and a guy who looked like he had just been listening to Nirvana for the last 10 hours, just rocking his head back and forth, his hair's flailing. And we were out there for warm-ups for, 25 minutes. I go back into the light. He's still doing that same thing, the headbanging. And I'm like, this guy's nuts, but all those fans are nuts. It's a great place to play. The weather's the other factor. It's going to be gloomy. It's going to be probably wet. It's going to be cold. And just all those factors kind of culminate with an offense coming in. Needs to be good. Needs to be on point in order to put some points on a team that has been pretty stingy in the past.
John, we always appreciate you, man. Thanks for making some time today. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll look forward to catching up with you here soon.
Thank you, John.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you. Have a good one.
John Skelton joining us here, former Cardinal quarterback, and we appreciate his time. You can follow him on Twitter or X at John Skelton19, and he today is brought to you by our host today, Wright Toyota. The right price, the right selection, always the right dealership located in Scottsdale and Franklin, Wright Boulevard. Wright Toyota has the deal for everyone. Check out their full inventory of pre-owned certified vehicles there at WrightToyota.com. All right, we got our Lerner and Rowe one call. That's all. It'll be Paul Moyer, the former Sun Devil and Seattle Seahawk, who said on our program that Sam Darnold is the most talented quarterback in Seattle history. So we'll get into that. And the producers have a little payback? Yes, that's next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Who wants to hit LA? Sign up for the Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway, powered by Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Grand prize, 2 tickets to see the Cards at the Rams January 4th at SoFi Stadium, hotel at the Westin LA, and a $500 Visa card. Runner-up scores a $500 big game tailgate at Twin Peaks for you and 9 friends. Scan to score at Twin Peaks or text PEAKS to 59925 to enter. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views, and football dreams.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming, Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Sam Darnold, who I've told everybody after 8 games, he's the most talented quarterback in Seahawks history. I can't believe how good he is. Wow. I didn't know it coming in. Wow. I didn't know it. But it's 2 years in a row, and it's a pretty good sample size. He can make every throw. He's mobile inside the pocket. He's not going to hurt you running, but he can if need be.
Dave Craig on line 3, Jim Zorn on line 4.
Matt Hasselback on line 5, Jim Zorn.
Russell Wilson. Anyway, our one call is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe. And Erik, need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Real quick, what's on tap brought to you by Dos Equis. On 98.7 tonight, 9:30, the AIA Friday Night Football wrap-up show. Tomorrow morning here on ESPN 620, we got Indiana at Penn State. On the mothership at 1 o'clock, it is Oregon, Iowa. And then here comes the Suns. The game, or show, I should say, for the Suns is at 7:30, and then pregame at 8, and then the game with the Clippers is at 8:30. And then on Sunday, 9:30 pregame, Cardinals against the Seahawks. And at 12:30, it will be Arizona men's basketball against Utah Tech. All right, let's get to it. This is where the producers get a little payback at myself, Manuch, and always Jimmy B. So what do you got? What do you got this week, boys?
Take it away, CC.
Yeah. So this week, Rock, don't worry, you've been gone for a little bit. Nothing too much here for you. However,
a little bit.
Your buddy's sitting there on the side. Oh, we had more than enough for Manuch. So I'll just take it off real quick. We're going to turn the spotlight, Manuch, like I said, over to you with the classic line that absolutely nobody understood.
Marvin Jr. and making those solo tackles. It was mano, man-to-man. He couldn't cover him with a blanket in the middle of a fabric company. That's for sure.
What was that again?
Couldn't cover with a blanket in the middle of a fabric company.
In the middle of a fabric.
That's a lot of fabric he couldn't cover.
No, I understood it.
Could not cover
I understood it. I have just never heard it before.
I know Jimmy said he understood it, but the look on his face told us otherwise.
I wish I was here for that, because that is just a fabric store.
Yeah, you got all that. You got all that fabric. He said he couldn't cover him like a fabric on a fire. All that fabric. You know how you throw a blanket on the fire or fabric just right there.
No one says fabric. It's a different kind of
covered
store,
like a blanket,
like a bed store maybe, or
a blanket, fabric. It's that type of thing. Jimmy
right.
got it.
Anybody over 65 got it.
Think about it for a little bit, for sure. All right, moving on. Manuch decides to take us on a little trip down memory lane, and it might have been a little bit of too much information about his dancing days.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, I was a funky white boy playing in a rock and roll band. Did you throw it down on the dance floor,
Brother,
Manuch?
come on now.
Come on.
An Italian quarterback busting a move with the platforms, the bell bottoms. I got the vest. I got the chiffon tie.
Oh, man, I had my shirt unbuttoned all the way to my navel.
Now. They were lining up to dance with me.
Man, I only have like 6 hairs on my chest, though. Not like you. Let's have a little
It's an
fun.
Italian thing.
Yes. Let's get to the.
I was in my car and I heard that, and I switched over to
Jimmy B
I
loves that
switched
one.
over to Burns again.
the only
I'm not listening to that.
The only thing I didn't have was the Italian horn. I never had that. I never had the Italian horn. I'm sure
I
Jimmy
had that.
did.
I
Did you have
had
the
it.
Italian
I had
horn.
it. I had it.
The necklace.
In the
with
rope
Italian horn.
chain, with my Jordache, Sergio
How
Vite
was it?
jeans.
That's more of that Eastern Italian versus the Western Italian.
Members
right?
Club.
Members Club.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Jordache jeans. I got it. Okay.
All right, CC.
Yeah, last one here for you guys. Roc, this was a good one. And honestly, probably glad that you missed out because Manuch and Jimmy B, they started to talk about how they used to kill time back in the days. And, man, it felt like I was in the 70s.
I've got to get a CD player and put it in my car because I have hundreds of CDs.
These have to be portable now because you have to do
Yeah, and
But
I've
you
got
know
the
what?
plug-in. I could do that.
For all of you out there that never heard a vinyl and a really
man.
good record player, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I agree.
It is smooth. It is crystal clear.
Yeah.
No hiccups. And get it on those Bose speakers. Oh, man, you got it going on. Trust me.
I'm with you on that.
Get a
100%.
lava lamp going.
The lava. Turn on the strobe light.
And then it's up to you after that.
Woo, doggies. Just remember, everybody, puff, puff, pass.
right.
That's it.
And it's legal now.
It is legal now.
Oh, gosh, Roc, this is
What
what
happens
when you're
when I go
gone.
out of town? You know,
You both just said that at the same time,
it's
Connor
like,
and Roc.
I got it. This is exactly what happens. And I guarantee when you guys did that, Laz didn't laugh, Connor didn't laugh, nobody listening was laughing except you two.
Do you know what a lava lamp is?
Yeah, of course.
You know what a vinyl is?
Yeah,
Have
like
you ever
on a
heard
track.
You ever heard songs on an album?
Yeah, some people still do it for like.
I recently
style.
bought a new record player like last year.
It's awesome. A lot more people are starting to buy more record players, turntables.
Yeah.
And
You can
but
still get lava lamps too from like the Peter Piper
Oh,
or like the arcade stuff.
absolutely.
Wait, what? Peter Piper?
Yeah, I was just at
The lava
Mavericks,
lamp?
like Mavericks down there off the 101 with my little
I'd
cousin.
go to a hemp
They got
store.
the craziest
I mean,
things now.
Why would I go to Peter Piper
Well,
for
kids think that stuff's cool.
6'7"?
Yeah.
So stupid.
They're into crazy
I mean,
things.
wait. Peter Piper sells lava lamps?
Yeah, it's probably like 5,000 tickets, but it's got to get a lot. But they sell stuff like that.
I get it. Okay, so you got to roll the
Yeah,
ball.
give the tickets and then get your lava
I'm
lamp.
surprised they got lava
Gotta
lamps.
win a lot, though.
I mean, what was that place, the head shop that was a brand name? They were everywhere in the valley. Oh, shoot. I can't
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
they Tempe was like
Yeah.
one of the first. And,
Oh yeah, you find everything
those
in there.
record stores, Zia Records. Remember Zia Records? That's where you would get a lava lamp.
Oh, Z Records, and they had the sandals, and they had the.
I remember.
Tire.
I remember at college that I was living in a fraternity house, and I had a waterbed, of course, right?
Oh, you absolutely had
Single,
that.
And then I did the light, the
Little strobe light.
No, not strobe lights, but the glow in the dark like stars.
Oh yeah, you romantic, you Ron.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was really romantic. I don't know about that. I was, yeah,
the stars glowing.
Stars glowing, the waterbed going.
Did you bring those from your bedroom when you're in 4th grade?
Yeah.
For crying out loud?
Got the mixtape going. Yeah, I mean, I remember we just got cable. I mean, that was big.
yeah.
Having cable in our room,
Huge.
was big. I
Yeah.
mean, you didn't have cable growing up.
No,
right?
we didn't. No, we did. We had cable down in Yuma, but we're not at K-State. We had to go downstairs and watch TV down there. Some guys just had the regular rabbit ears. You know what rabbit ears are there, Laz, to put on your TV? You ever heard rabbit ears? They're the antennas that you have to hook
The
in the
antenna.
back.
We don't
rabbit
need those, I don't think, any
Yeah.
longer.
You get the
No,
local
yeah,
channels.
now you do. It's all HD.
Oh, yeah, I
it's
should
great.
say on
You get
YouTube
like
TV,
50,
I
60
probably need it again to watch the Suns.
Yeah, you YouTube guys.
Oh, AZTV.
I'm going back, I
telling
swear.
you.
Go back to Cox.
You
Tell
do
me.
it
Yeah.
or direct. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm such a Cox fan. So, all right, let's get to our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. It is storm season. Is your roof ready? Call for State 48 Roofing today for a free roof inspection before it leaks. Their phone number is 480-268-4509 or just go online, state48roofing.com. All right, With Seattle's excellent defense, what receiver for the Cards must be the go-to guy in order to win? And your choices are Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, or Greg Dortch. Those are your 4 choices.
Connor, which way is the folks, all those Cardinal fans leaning?
We had 66% go Marvin Harrison Jr. and 33% go Trey McBride.
I would flip it. I'd vote for McBride because he's going to be more utilized in that red zone. I think they're going to be.
If they get to the red zone.
Well, that's it. If they'll be very aware. I think they'll double up. But I think McBride, he's averaging since Brissett's in there now, close to 7 catches per. He's got 4 touchdowns since Jacoby Brissett's in there. I really feel that they're going to have to control the game. You talked about it earlier, Rock. Pass rush coming after him. He may not have time to get to Marv Harrison Jr. as much as he wants to. So I think you're going to see a lot of throws to Trey McBride, running backs coming out of the backfield, or some shorter routes or a combination of all the above, because this defense will bring the heat. They'll get in your face, they'll bloody your nose, and they'll get you off target in reference to moving around. So I think McBride's got to be the guy if they're going to win this game.
So it was reported this morning that President Trump is going to be attending the Detroit Lions Washington Commanders game. You want to watch, with Veterans Day celebration and everything that's going to be going on Monday. So right there in Washington, of course, Northwest Stadium, I believe that's Landover, right there, Maryland. And these fans are just absolutely outraged. Why would fans care if the president, doesn't matter what side you're on, it's cool when presidents go to sporting events.
And it's in Washington, D.C. on top of it. It's there, Landover, which is right there, which is a suburb. Yeah, that's one of those things. I think the ilk is because of what we've got going on. They would rather have him in the Oval Office trying to figure something out so we get the government up and running. But since it's right there, I don't have any heartburn with him going to the game. And in honor of the Veterans Day.
Exactly. There's fans in Washington that are selling their tickets. I just what is wrong with our country right now?
It is this.
You're not even going to see him.
You won't. He'll be in a protected box.
Yeah.
They'll make sure it's glass. It's bulletproof for sure. But I think I think they have to look at the whole subject. It's Veterans Day coming up. Veterans Day honorees on this Sunday.
Yeah, think about that.
And it's in D.C. or Orlando right there.
Hey, special thanks to Paul Moyer for joining us. We also cut off Erik Moses, the executive director and CEO of the Fiesta Sports Foundation. Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe. We also had Scott Spreitzer. He handicapped all these games for us. And you just heard John Skelton. So we'll do it again on Monday from Big. So come on out. Big game. Eagles head into Green Bay, Lambeau Field. Should be a good Monday night game. Hopefully you come out and join us. We got a bunch of stuff going on this weekend here on our station as well as some other ships, so tune in. If you missed anything, just download the Arizona Sports app, go to Roc and Manuch. Hey, subscribe on YouTube for us too. We'd appreciate that. And what game are you calling tonight, Manu?
They're going to call the Desert Mountain Sanderdale Connor AZTV 7 o'clock kickoff.
All right, for Laz, for Connor, for Jimmy B and Manuch, I'm Roc. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell